still young enough to keep up with everything physical, yet their experience is enough that their mind feels like they've seen everything 3 times. After the Olympics, that's Sebastian Aho. He led Finland to the bronze medal. He's young enough. Now is the time for him to be and stay in his prime.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 3 to 6 on 99.9 The Fan.
Life's great stories are built on yes and. Yes to the big game and the private suite. Yes to the beach and sailing offshore. Yes to traveling the country and exploring new ones. With the new Millionaire for Life from the North Carolina Education Lottery, you can say yes to $1 million now and every year for a lifetime. Millionaire for Life. Winning is just the beginning. Drawing 7 days a week. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning are 1 in 8.47. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
To some people, the sound of a baby babbling doesn't mean much. But that's not necessarily true. By 6 months, they're combining vowels and consonants. By 9 months, they're trying out different kinds of sounds. And by 12 months, their babbling is beginning to take on some meaning. Especially if there's no babbling at all. Little to no babbling by 12 months or later is just one of the possible signs of autism in children. Early screening and intervention can make a lifetime of difference and unlock a world of possibilities. Take the first step at autismspeaks.org. A public service announcement brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
Listen up, parents, teachers, counselors, coaches. Your boys just turned 18, but they need one more push. Don't let them forget to register with the Selective Service System. It's required by law, and it can open up the door to many federal benefits. Visit sss.gov.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm, Injury Lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it. Go to ritchielaw.com.
That's ritchielaw.com.
They score! Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. What a difference a day makes. Temperatures 30 degrees colder this afternoon than yesterday. We'll see a high of 45 and a few light patchy showers later on this afternoon through the evening. 37 tonight and cloudy, and the clouds linger tomorrow with some drizzle and highs in the mid-50s. But we warm back into the 70s for Wednesday.
Three o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones up 46 points to 49,024. This hour of the drive is brought to you by Law Tigers. Injured in a motorcycle accident? Call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS before you call your insurance company. Case evaluations are always free, and you don't pay a dime until your case settles. Law Tigers, North Carolina's motorcycle lawyers.
Sizing it up, drives him, got inside, here comes a double team. Step through it, somehow scored anyway. Goodness, they can't stop him, he's got 16.
Copeland, top of the arc, whips it right, McNeil. He steps in for the tie and thrills it right side, McNeil. There's the answer.
Looking for Trimble, instead has to go high post to Vasar, back to the basket. Vasar's just going to turn and shoot it. Yes, Vasar for three.
Edmondson trying to get it through traffic, it's blocked, and it's a skate race. And here comes Taylor Hall. Hall in and back and forth, he scores!
The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. Happy Monday. New week, everybody. Hopefully it's treating you well. I'm Tim Donnelly, Dennis Cox producing the show. We are in the thick of it. There was a Canes game over the weekend. There's another tonight. There's a lot of great college basketball over the weekend. There's another great game tonight. NFL Combine's over. NFL free agency's opening up in a minute. Almost literally. Draft coming at us quickly. We don't have time to waste. So I'll quickly let you know that we will open up the phone lines for your calls. Monday Soundoff coming up at 4:15, about an hour and 15 minutes from now. So get ready with your takes, questions, comments, concerns. We'll have the opportunity for you to voice your opinion on the show at 4:15. We'll give you the number and everything at that time. Right now, it's time to start the show as we always do with the Big Three at 3.
Number 1.
College basketball over the weekend. Duke smoked Virginia. Final score is 77-51. It didn't feel that close. NC State lost to Notre Dame in overtime, 96-90. And I hope you heard the stank. They lost to Notre Dame. That's a game that many assumed it would be a state win and would potentially be a get-right game for them because they're facing Duke tonight.
Including us.
It was it was not a get-right game.
No.
It was another late-game collapse, which, if you look at the way their last 4 losses have gone, and I don't want to write off the win. They amongst their last 5, they did have the win over Carolina, granted without Caleb Wilson and Henry Vasart in the game for the Tar Heels. But they have 2 absolute blowout losses to Louisville and to Virginia. And the next game after both of them, they had considerable leads right at the end and collapsed. Either against Miami, gave up the win in regulation. Against Notre Dame, allowed Notre Dame to fly back and tie it up, go to overtime where Notre Dame got the win. That's concerning. Will Wade, head coach of NC State, in his post-game audio, talked about them losing games, especially the games that they are in control of all the way near the end of regulation.
A little bit different than the Miami game, but same thing. I mean, we've lost 4 out of 5, and we've given away really two of the 4 losses. We've pretty much we've had the game, and I mean, we were in control of the game almost the entire game today, and we just gave it away. We just gave it away at the end here.
As of late, State is doing the exact opposite of what we talk about the really good teams doing, right? The really good teams, when they don't have their A game or when they're not the better team or whatever, they find a way to win it at the end, right? They find a way to put together the 3 or 4 plays you need to steal a win. When your shooters weren't making shots or when your best player's in foul trouble, you steal one. NC State can be the best team on the floor for darn near the entirety of the game and then do the reverse, not make the 3 or 4 plays you need at the end and lose the game. That's a really tough spot to be when you are making your final statements for seeding and NCAA tournament inclusion, right? And I still think they're in, but they're making it significantly more nerve-wracking than it probably should be.
And they lost that top 4 spot in the ACC standings.
Lost the double bye, although that might end up being a blessing in disguise because maybe they might need that one more win in the ACC tournament to, give them any kind of seeding that they're excited about in the NCAA tournament. It's just a complete switch, and that's the frustrating part, right? If you look at their schedule, the Georgia Tech loss, which Will Wade brings up all the time, was a bad one. But it did seem like after that they were putting together something. I know it wasn't the scariest part of their schedule, but it felt like they were putting together something. This stretch has given back all that goodwill. All those appearances of steps forward, gone. And then UNC beat Virginia Tech 89-82. I'm going to hold myself accountable and say that was a win by any means necessary game for UNC. That's what I said going in. They won. Pass, fail, they passed. Now, I actually think a lot of the details are positive for UNC. Big game from Henry Vasar, another big game from Seth Trimble, both efficient scoring the basketball. They were the main engines driving things for UNC. If those 2 guys get right in a significant way in time for Caleb Wilson to return, which, by the way, we do have an update here. Hubert Davis said Caleb Wilson's status pretty much the same since Saturday. I don't know if that qualifies as an update. But we can play the audio for you from Hubert, of which he has said is pretty much the same. So here's Hubert Davis.
Yeah, there is update. He doesn't have his cast on anymore, and he's allowed to. Can't do anything 5-on-5, but he can do individual workouts, and he can dribble, shoot. He can do everything, just nothing on contact. So that's a huge benefit for us. He's out of the cast and being able to work out.
Any sort of timeline for his return?
No, but I mean, moving in the right direction. And so he worked out the day before the game and just was dribbling, shooting, catching like normal.
That's all good to hear. Pat Welter, our colleague over at WRAL, did add that according to a source, everything with recovery is headed in the right direction, and there's a, quote, very small chance Wilson could play at Duke. That's the latest from Pat Welter.
Okay.
Very small chance. Part of me wants to go full Dumb and Dumber. So you're telling me there's a chance, right? Just if there's anything, I can guarantee you Carolina fans will be excited about it if there's any kind of chance. But I go back to the Virginia Tech game. Vasar, 26, Trimble, 20. Jonathan Powell off the bench, shot it very well from 3. That's his calling card, 15. That if those guys get going in Caleb Wilson's absence, they'll only be better off when he returns. You'd hope to get a little bit of, the Duke game would be it, a little bit of an on-ramp before the ACC tournament. But if it is the ACC tournament, they'll welcome him with open arms. That all. Number 3. Let's get to number 2.
Number 1 to number 2?
That was number 1. Let's get to number 2.
Number 2.
You all can. I count up, I count down. I might mix it up on you sometimes.
Yeah, well, gotta keep you straight here.
Let's get to the fraction, 2.5. This number on the big 3 is the Carolina Hurricanes, who, by the way, have departed. They are on a little bit of a West Coast road trip starting tonight. They are at Seattle, on Wednesday at Vancouver, on Friday at Edmonton, on Saturday at Calgary. So it is a 4-game West Coast road trip. But they took care of business at home in the 2 games that they had post-Olympics pre-road trip. 5-4 against Tampa, 5-2 on Saturday against Detroit. There are some similarities to these 2 games. Both games, Carolina jumped out to a 3-0 lead. Both games in short order, meaning once the first goal was scored, the next one was hot on its tails. They let that dwindle to at least 3-2. And then in both cases, third period, they kind of locked up, played some good hockey, came away with the win. Obviously more emphatic against Detroit. They win 5-2. But it was a little bit of a roller coaster. But it's the best kind of roller coaster because it ends with a W. If there's a storyline to watch positively, I think it's that second line. Stankoven, Blake, and Hall have, in 2 games since the Olympic break, which is a small sample size, have been playing great. Taylor Hall with fresh legs. He looks like he's the Taylor Hall that Devils fans imagine in their brain from back in the day. Like he's lighting it up. And
they were playing great even before the Olympic break.
They're maybe being rewarded a bit more. They were creating so many chances. They're capitalizing on those chances a bit more since the break. But you're right that all the indicators were saying they were due. Here's Taylor Hall and the chemistry of his line with Stankoven and Blake.
For much of the time that we've been together, we've had nights where we're like, man, how do we come out of that game without any goals? So it's just a credit to us for sticking with it. I think we played with a lot of pace. We're around the net a bit more, which maybe in some games we'd be on the boards a little bit farther from the net. I think we're getting to the inside of the ice really well, and that's when you score goals and you maintain play.
They're playing really well. That's as simple as it gets. Now, Taylor Hall probably wishes he had all of his teeth, but playing well, sacrificing a little bit of your smile, I think in the scheme of things, he'll be all right. That is number 2. Now let's get to number 3.
Number 3.
Nailed it with the numbers. Number 1 in the country, Duke men's basketball will be at State tonight. It is a huge opportunity, if you want to look at it that way, right? If we want to go full Dave Canales, a huge opportunity for State to turn their season around. They've lost 4 of their last 5, sure. They've gotten smacked by the top teams in the ACC, absolutely. But when you are playing a team like Duke, particularly one at home, you have the opportunity to shake everything up, right? A win vaults you off of all the conversations that are being had about you right now. If you're Duke, you're trying to solidify the number 1 overall seed. You already bullied Virginia over the weekend, in which case that gives you the share of the ACC title and all of that, which they were adamant, and we'll play some audio for you here. Both players and coaches were adamant for Duke. They don't like to share. Here's John Shire after the game.
To be able to win a share of the ACC, especially in this day and age where it's not necessarily a balanced schedule all the time, and it's just it's a different day and age. We won't take this for granted. With that said, we don't like shares. We have more work that we want to do, but I'm just proud of all 9 guys that played, impacted the game. Darren Harris, the job he did coming in, gave us a lift. Our starting group gave us, a really good start. I thought Malik's activity made a big difference in the game. Just proud of our guys. They probably missed some shots too, no question about it. But I thought the toughness against a really good team was there, and we have to turn around quickly to be ready for Monday.
In the Duke-Virginia game, there was one thing that was obvious. If Duke is knocking down outside shots, they're already, even without that, one of the best teams in the country. They become the best team in the country when they're knocking down outside shots.
Yeah, good luck.
And I mean, they were taught, like Malik Brown and Gungba and everything were tossing in some threes. It's not just Isaiah Evans who was hot early. If they're knocking down threes, Dennis put it pretty succinctly. Good luck. So State, you either got to match them in shooting threes tonight, or you got to find a way to make sure they aren't. That's your task. We'll talk about it more. That game specifically, Duke State, and the reel that State has been on recently, coming up after this. And don't forget about Monday's Soundoff at 4:15. We have a packed show for you. More college basketball next.
Hi, Greg Talbot with Strategic Tax Resolution. Tax enforcement and defense strategies have changed a lot over the last year. After nearly 5 years, the IRS has restarted automated collections. You could be next for bank levies and wage garnishments. Ignoring the issue is not an option. Call 984-272-2600 to get protected. Do you have unfiled returns or tax debt? We work directly with the IRS and state so you don't have to. Let us use our proven strategies and experience with the IRS and state to resolve your tax issue. Qualified clients have cut their tax debt by more than 90%. How would that feel? Act now to learn the latest updates to tax relief programs. Your eligibility may not be the same. Strategic Tax Resolution. Local, trusted, A+ rated by the BBB. Call 984-272-2600. Ask for me, Greg Talbot. 984-272-2600. You've got a guy on your side. StrategicTaxResolution.com. Get relief.
Chick-fil-A's new frosted sodas and floats. It's a 10 out of 10. Hey, this is Lizzie, a team member at my local Chick-fil-A. And a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich and new frosted sodas and floats is how well they go together. You will love having your favorite soda blended with our creamy ice stream to make a new frosted soda or float. With the mix of the ice stream and soda fizz, it's so delicious, I call it Fizzalicious.
Order a Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich and a new frosted soda and float at your local Chick-fil-A restaurant. Real team member paid for their testimonial.
It's not Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's Tuesday. Tuesday! The very first Tuesday.
New scratch-off tickets are available on the first Tuesday of every month.
Announcer said first Tuesday.
Brand new scratch-offs, brand new fun. Now from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Every first Tuesday.
Tuesday!
Must be 18 to play. Problem Gambling Helpline, 877-718-5543.
With 3, with 2 on the drive, got airborne, flipped it to the left, White at the shot clock buzzer, and threw up an air ball. Now the Blue Devils running the other way. It's Evans with a left-hand punch! And the lead grows to 21.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. All right, everybody, it's a Monday. Stereotypically, like if we're Garfield, right? That means it's just a bummer. Oh, it's Monday. Oh, the weekend's over. But in actuality, there's a really exciting basketball game tonight. And it can be really exciting if NC State wakes the heck up. Otherwise, it might be a Monday basketball game, right? And there are, and I hope you catch, using Monday as an adjective isn't a huge compliment. Some of us out there need this game to keep us awake long enough to watch the Canes game after. We need this to be our caffeine. So I'm looking at State and saying, give me something. Give me something. If you look at the last 4 games of these two teams, Duke on one side, NC State on the other, it's not apples to apples. It's the exact opposite of each other. All right, and we can even go last 5. For NC State, blowout loss to Louisville on the road, collapse loss to Miami at home. They did beat North Carolina, although every Carolina fan would love you to add that Caleb Wilson and Henry Vasar didn't play. They get smoked on the road at Virginia, and they get smoked on the road, and it wasn't exactly smoked, but it felt that way because it was Notre Dame, smoked in overtime to Notre Dame.
Yeah, we don't score the last 3 minutes and 23 seconds, and you shoot 2 of 11 in overtime.
I wrote down the offensive possessions here because I was so flabbergasted by it. They had an 81-74 lead, State did, with 3 minutes and 23 seconds left. Quadir Copeland was charged a turnover. Paul McNeil misses a 3. Van Allen Lubin was credited with the offensive rebound. He missed a tip dunk, so that's another way to come up with 0 points. McNeil misses another 3. Darian Williams misses another 3. Now we're down somewhere around a minute. They are still ahead, 81-79. Darian Williams misses another 3. Darian Williams misses another 3. That one at the buzzer from 26 feet. That's 0 for 5 from 3, 0 for 6 overall, including a turnover in the last 3 minutes and 23 seconds left, where if any of those possessions end with points, any of them, you instead of chucking up a 3, you pump fake, you lean in, you get a cheap foul, you make 1 free throw.
About to say, no free throw attempted in that.
If any of them end in points, you win the game and avoid what I think is a disastrous outcome of losing to Notre Dame on the road.
They've now lost to 2 of the bottom 3 teams in the ACC, teams that we probably won't see in Charlotte next week for the ACC tournament.
And by the way, Will Wade made that point. We're fighting for the NCAA tournament. They're fighting for the ACC tournament. There's differences there, right? There's differences there. And I have to admit, I got down a wormhole today of just negative point after negative point on State, right? Just in the last 4 games, they haven't done this. This player hasn't done that. This player isn't doing this at the level they were. This player. And eventually I stopped myself and I went, okay, rough patch, right? Ups and downs. They're in the middle of a slide, and I don't need 75 different stats to point it out. NC State is in a rough patch. Part of being a coach, part of being a veteran leader, part of being a team is getting the team back on the right path when they've gone astray. That's part of it, right? That's why you hear at all levels, you have players-only meetings. You have conditioning sessions where the coach really lets you have it in the middle of a season where, right, probably the performance professionals would tell you, oh, it's about maintenance and it's not about running you ragged. Well, sometimes coaches go, yeah, but for this team, we need to run them ragged in the middle of the season. We got a day off tomorrow. We're going to see, right? You need to be able to get your team back on the right path. And I've been giving Will Wade a lot of credit for thinking and sometimes overthinking and being intentional with everything he says. Because I almost don't believe that somebody would be, as a coach, willy-nilly with the things he's said, right? They're better than us. We don't deserve to connect or compete with the top teams in the league. Everything that he has said seems so unusual that it's oh, he must have a master plan here. Well, how many games of underwhelming play until it's the plan ain't working? This isn't the best way to get his team back on the right track. Or is it the opposite? Or is it's a make-miss league and guys are just missing shots? Because do you know what else came to my mind when I wrote down and had it tangibly, those last possessions? Miss 3, miss 3, miss 3, miss 3, miss 3. from McNeil, from Williams, is those guys are good shooters. Right? That this team is still statistically a good three-point shooting team. At some point, do you just expect a good shooter to make a shot? Will Wade, again, post-game radio, after the game, talked about not connecting on some of those open looks.
We just missed shots. I think most of the looks were pretty good looks. We had maybe a couple that were tough. I can think of one or two that were tough, but I mean, most of the looks were pretty good looks. And when when you play like we do and you live by the three, you kind of die by the three as well. And so, disappointing. We tried to, wanted to get the ball into Venn a little bit more there. Thought Venn was phenomenal, but wanted to get the ball into him a little bit more. And I think that we were, we just weren't able to accomplish that, and thus we ended up taking a bunch of threes.
We talk a lot about identity of teams on this show. It's too late to change your identity, right? There's nobody like, hey, let's figure out what we are with 2 games to go before the ACC tournament. If it's gotten to this far and you don't like your identity, at some point along the way, you were probably too lax, right? You let this happen. And that goes for everybody. I'm putting it on Wade. And I heard the comments. I read the comments after the game from Wade about, it's on him. He's not getting them ready. And that's what a leader should do when times are tough, try to attract all the blame. But there's enough blame to go around, right? If the team's settling for threes, the player taking them is settling for threes. If the team can't be effective without taking threes, or even when they're missing threes, then, somebody was driving to the bucket and not making those shots and not showing that there's a better option. It is, and also defensively, I don't want to let him off the hook defensively. Jalen Harrelson came off the bench. He's their second leading scorer, but Marcus Burton's been hurt most of the year, so he's their leading scorer. The dude had like 25 points. That shouldn't surprise you. Right? We saw what Notre Dame looked like without Harrelson. They don't have a ton. When he plays, it's like, there you go. Somebody has to take upon that individual challenge. So I say all of this, right? Like I said, we could go up and down and look at the last 5 games and find all the different ways that State is underwhelming right now. But part of being a coach, part of being a leader, part of being a veteran, part of being an athlete is, sometimes things go sideways. Can you make it so a 4-game bad streak, a 5-game bad streak, a 2-game bad streak doesn't become a 10-game bad streak is part of your job description? So with that being said, you don't always have an option like you do tonight against Duke. You don't always have an opportunity. You beat Duke, no one's talking about getting beat by Notre Dame. It's crazy how that works. You beat Duke, everything changes. Now, if you play Duke strong, right? If you have it as a 2-possession game with a minute left, that won't change the entire conversation, but there'll be those out there that knowingly nod, like, okay, a little something there. But goodness gracious, am I tired of like, oh, this is just who we are. We need to be tougher. And I'm going like, well, if you're not, you're not. You got to find a way to win. You got to find a way to coach to whatever strengths you have or play to whatever strengths you have. Again, blame goes all around. This is The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. Don't forget, we do have Monday Soundoff coming up at 4:15. We look forward to hearing from all of you, and I assume some State fans have some thoughts percolating in your brains, and you'd love to voice them, whether you're a State fan or you want to talk about anything else. We'll open up the phone lines at 4:15. In the meantime, Tim Donnelly here now for Miller Lending. Have closing costs been keeping you from buying or refinancing your home? Well, rates dropped recently. I don't know if you were paying attention. As low as they've been in 4 years as of last week. If that's the case and you have a rate that's higher than you're interested in, it could be time for you to call Miller Lending and ask about a no-cost refi. No closing costs. So if that's been the barrier, if that's been the thing stopping you from refinancing your home, give them a call. Ask about their no closing cost loans. Whether you're buying or refinancing, no closing costs. The number to call, 919-447-3377. That's 919-447-3377. Or you can visit them online at millerlending.com. Once again, that's millerlending.com. Miller Lending is an equalizing lender, and MLS number 250-2146. We'll be back with the Dean's List, and we have some a cool prize to give away to some of you, and some more explanations about it. Stick around for the details coming up next.
Soundstation and Security, your automotive and audio experts. Car audio, car video, home theater, wheels and tires, and so much more. Plus, did you know Soundstation and Security offers full service for your vehicle? Alignments, inspection, oil changes, window tinting, and custom exhaust. And with a variety of financing options, Soundstation and Security can help you get what you need today. 2 locations, downtown Smithfield and on Glenwood Avenue in Raleigh. Soundstation and Security. Visit myhotsound.com.
Winter is in full swing, and Aleve is here to keep you moving. When the cold weather sets in, everyday aches and pains can linger, but Aleve's got your back. With up to 12 hours of body pain relief per dose, Aleve keeps you going with long-lasting body pain relief to get you through whatever the season brings. Chilly days or cozy nights, Aleve gives you that long-lasting body pain relief you can count on this winter. Try Aleve. Use as directed for minor aches and pains.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Jeff's day is off to a slow start. So he heads to AutoZone, America's #1 battery destination, where Sammy, a local AutoZoner, tests his battery for free. Looks like he just needs a charge. And Sammy does that for free too. In no time at all, Jeff is back on the road, ready to finish the day strong. Free battery testing and charging at every store. No hassles, just help. Get in the zone, AutoZone.
East Carolina University is building up to something big on March 4th. It's Pirate Nation's 10th annual Day of Giving. For one day, pirates everywhere unite to support scholarships, research, healthcare, athletics, the arts, and more. Every gift supports a stronger future at ECU for our students and our state. Last year, we raised over $10 million. Now, let's set a new record for giving and make an impact in support of ECU. Pirate Nation Gives is March 4th. Visit give.ecu.edu to be a part of the big day for ECU.
Looking for Trimble. Instead has to go high post to Vasar. Back to the basket. Vasar's just going to turn and shoot it. Yes! Vasar for 3.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. We do have the Dean's List coming up, where we will honor those in the college sports world that deserve a little extra praise. A lot happened over the weekend. But I promised a giveaway. I promised a prize before the break. And you're darn
Let's do
right.
that hockey.
You're darn right I'm going to make good on that prize. Right now, call 919-860-5326 for your chance to be lucky caller number 9. Lucky caller number 9. And score a pair of tickets to see the Canes take on St. Louis March 13th at the Lenovo Center. So that's a little bit later this month. You can win a pair of tickets to see the Canes host St. Louis March 13th at the Lenovo Center. So call in now, 919-860-5326. Caller number 9 gets the tickets. And we are just getting started, everybody. We're giving away a pair of tickets every day leading up to our big ticket stop. That's this Thursday. Join Victoria, that's Victoria from the Adam Gold Show, this Thursday, March 5th from 6 to 8 p.m. at Buffalo Brothers off Kildare Farm Road in Cary, where they will be giving away a pair of tickets every 8 minutes. So you can win on the air. Like I said, we have tickets to give away each day until Thursday. Or you can win in person, where they'll be giving away out at Buffalo Brothers in Cary a pair of tickets every 8 minutes from 6 to 8 p.m. Join Victoria there. She'll be having a good time, bringing the energy. So that's the deal, all right? That's the deal. You can listen to this show. I won't tell you when each day, right? It'll be at some point throughout the show. You got to listen to find out. Or you can stop out at Buffalo Brothers in Cary off Kildare Farm Road from 6 to 8 p.m. on Thursday, where Victoria will be giving away a pair of tickets every 8 minutes. Those are the details. I promised you a giveaway. I think I made good on that promise. So as Dennis fields those calls, make sure caller number 9 gets their prize. I will now jump into the Dean's List. And yes, another reminder, we do have Monday Soundoff at 4:15. So whether you're a State fan, you're talking basketball, whether you're a Panthers fan, want to talk free agency, Carolina Panthers that is, Canes fan, deadline, trade deadline coming up, or anything in between. Duke beat Virginia, UNC got the win over Virginia Tech over the weekend. We want to hear from you. That's at 4:15, about 45 minutes from now. And we'll tell you the phone number to call and all of that. We'll tell you when it's open closer to the time, but you got to be listening. Now let's talk Dean's List. Let's knock out a few women's basketball Dean's Listers. First of all, for over the weekend, UNC women's basketball, because they beat Duke 74-69. This was yesterday. And as their social media pointed out, that is 5 straight wins at home versus Duke for the Tar Heels. In true rebuttal fashion, we then have to put Duke women's basketball on the Dean's List because they are the 2026 ACC women's basketball regular season champs. Even with the loss to Carolina over the weekend, they still had put themselves in position already to win the regular season crown in the ACC, which is always an accomplishment. Obviously, that comes with the number 1 seed in the ACC tournament. And that's actually not too far away, right? That's starting up this week. So Duke women's basketball makes the Dean's List. Congratulations to them. Oh, and by the way, I know people are very upset about this, so I won't put any of them on the Dean's List. But the ACC women's basketball tournament is in Duluth, Georgia. You know, the Greensboro-Charlotte run had been a long one for the women's basketball tournament. It'll be in Duluth, Georgia this year. So, again, take your anger elsewhere. Don't shoot the messenger. And then we'll throw an NC State women's basketball player on there as well. Camille Pierre, NC State women's basketball, became the 3rd player in school history with 20 double-doubles in a season. And the first going back, almost 2 decades? Down back to like 2008, so a little less. But still, 20 double-doubles. Double-double machine. Walking double-double, whatever you want to call it. Shout out to Pierre. She makes the Dean's List. Continuing on the Dean's List, this is, again, where we honor college sports newsmakers. How about Jordan Riley from ECU men's basketball? Did any of you see this? If not, it's like this is one of those, like, a video is worth 1,000 words. Jordan Riley, ECU men's basketball, had a couple of dunks in their win over Memphis, by the way. Which Memphis, yikes. You can't spend that much in NIL compared to your conference and just get rolled. But Jordan Riley, watch the dunks. I'm not going to describe them to you because that's a little unfair. Words can't do it justice. Jordan Riley, ECU men's basketball. I guess we got to move on because I can't do any better with words. More Dean's List here. Elon pitchers. Now you may say, well, what are you talking about? Softball? What are you talking about? Baseball? What are you talking about? Pitchers that hold drinks? I'm talking both baseball and softball. I don't know if everybody else saw this unreal day of pitching from Elon. But Elon's softball pitcher, Anna Du, threw a perfect game. While Elon baseball pitchers, and I apologize if I mispronounced some of this, Aiden Stieglitz, Mike Staiano, and RJ Latkowski combined for a no-hitter on the same day.
Well done.
Elon softball and Elon baseball didn't give a hit in a day. It's the first time in at least the last 3 seasons that a D1 school recorded a no-hitter in baseball and softball on the same day. Elon pitchers working their way onto the Dean's List. You could argue they'd be on the Dean's List even if they didn't do it on the same day, but it's a real one-upsmanship. Anything you can do, I can do better happening over there. Dennis, do you have any Dean's Listers you'd like to throw out here?
A couple. Like to throw out a Dean's List out there to Winston-Salem State women's basketball. Won the CIAA, defeating 2-time champion Fayetteville State. Won the CIAA this past weekend. And also a big shout out to Shenandoah University women's basketball. Punched their ticket to the D3 women's basketball tournament. Let's go. Let's go
like
Hornets.
I like
at
it.
large bid, baby. Let's go.
Oh, at
As
large.
an at large, which is not easy to do.
How many teams make D3? Is it the same 64-team bracket?
I don't think so. Honestly, I need to take a look at that. But they're in, baby. Doesn't matter who else is in there because we're in. Let's go Hornets.
Look at you. Way to go, Hornets. Is that I didn't Hornets? All right, there you go. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We're here on the Dean's List, making sure we give credit where it is due across the college sports world. This is just kind of cool. I'm putting Roy Williams on the Dean's List. Did you see Roy Williams Saturday?
Yeah, he went down to the Hornets game.
And then do you see what he did after that?
No.
He made it back in time to watch Carolina.
Oh, he did?
Yes. So as he told a couple of the reporters in the hallway, he was pulling a doubleheader. So
nice.
For those of you that didn't catch our kind of like fragmented conversation there, Roy Williams, one of his former players, Kobe White, the last player I believe drafted in like the top 7 out of UNC in the NBA draft, was traded to the Charlotte Hornets earlier this year.
Hornets?
There you go. Which, by the way, the Hornets are on fire.
Yeah, they are.
And Kobe White was traded with some kind of an injury. It took him a little bit to work his way back to health. Saturday was his debut. It was his first time playing for the Hornets. So his old ball coach, right, his old college coach, Roy Williams, said, my guy's debuting in Charlotte. Yeah, I'm going to drive up there and I'm going to catch the game. He drives up there, catches the game, chats with Kobe White, watches them, by the way, pull off the win, which is their, 5th straight, something like that. Again, like I said, they're on fire. 4th straight, sorry. They beat Portland. Roy goes, probably, well, dadgummit, I got time to make it back to Chapel Hill. Hops in the car, maybe a flight, I don't know.
Took the train, maybe?
Perhaps. Planes, trains, and automobiles. Ends up back in time to watch UNC get the win against Virginia Tech, 89-82. That is just, for sports fans out, that's just a great day. Right? Every sports fan I know has like a weekend that they always remember where they caught like a great high school game on Friday and then made it to the college game out of town on Saturday, or they caught the playoff game on Sunday and then the Monday night game, whatever it was. Like Roy Williams just, getting some stamps on his passport in the sports world. That's what you want to do, like a basketball coach in retirement? That's pretty cool.
It's pretty awesome that he made the time for that.
Yeah, do you know what it tells me? He's just a basketball junkie.
Well, he loves his guys.
Loves his guys, just loves the sport, just is like, he could do anything with his time, right? He could be on the golf course every day. He could be on a beach. He could be anywhere. He's like, no, I'm going to do a double header in basketball because I haven't seen enough basketball games in my career. I'm a fan. That is the Dean's List here on The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan. We will continue the show coming up next with winners and losers, and of course we're talking more aura than scoreboard, more than just, this team won or this guy won or this lady won. It's who's won the last week in our minds and hearts, and who lost the last week in our minds and hearts. We'll make those names obvious coming back. If you have yours, you can send them into our YouTube live stream, 99.9 The Fan, right in the comments underneath the video. We'd love to hear from you, and if it's a good one, we'll bring it up on air. Winners and losers coming up next.
Hey, what do you say? John Forsland here from my friends at Buffalo Brothers. It's the best time of the year for college basketball, and Buffalo Brothers is a slam dunk. Best place in the Triangle to watch all the big games. They always have great drink specials, and check this out. Every Monday, half-price wings all day. That's half-price wings all day Monday. Dine in only. Now that's a deal, baby. Check out any of their 5 Triangle locations or online at buffbrothers.com. Aw, man! Now I want wings!
When sleep isn't working, everything feels harder. Your health, your patience, your focus, even your relationships. I'm Megan Giggling with Parkway Sleep Health Centers. Too often, people are told to wait months or even years just to talk to a sleep specialist. But untreated sleep problems don't wait. At Parkway, care begins within weeks with home sleep studies and fast, coordinated support so people can move forward instead of staying stuck. Better sleep changes everything.
Parkway Sleep, your fastest path to better sleep. Start today at parkwaysleep.com. Sound sleep, sound health.
Yo, Harvey, Zoe, group selfie.
Ooh, nice new iPhone 17, Drewski.
Let's do a triangle formation. I'm in front.
With a center stage front camera, everyone fits in the shot.
He got at T-Mobile.
But switching takes forever.
Not anymore. Now you can switch to T-Mobile in just 15 minutes.
Focus, people. Nail your pose.
And you get a new iPhone 17 on them.
No way.
Yes way.
No way.
Yes way, guys. Switch to T-Mobile and get iPhone 17 on us. And right now, we'll pay off your old phone up to $800.
I'm grabbing my phone and switching to T-Mobile right now.
Get back, Harvey. We're taking a... let's go again, y'all.
With 24 monthly bill credits, finance agreement, 256 gigabytes, $830, eligible trade-in, example iPhone 13 and new qualifying line, $60 plus per month plan with autopay plus taxes and fees. For well-qualified customers, plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. $800 via virtual prepaid card. Card typically takes 15 days after rebate submission, no cash access, and card expires in 6 months. Check out in 15 minutes per line. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Are high-interest credit cards and other loans sucking the life out of your finances? It's time to say no more. Let Loan Pronto tap the equity in your home and get the cash you need now so you can pay it all off. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Corey and Jack called Loan Pronto. In a matter of days, they had $160,000. They kept their 3% mortgage intact and didn't even need an appraisal. With all that cash, they wiped out all their credit cards and 2 car loans, saving $2,000 a month. You could do it too. LoanPronto.com. Their rapid equity loan program can get you $100,000, $200,000, even $500,000 in cash. Chloe and Ethan just did it, consolidated all their high interest debt into one super low monthly payment, giving them an extra $1,000 a month. Imagine, pay off all the credit cards, slash your monthly payments, breathe easier, get your life back. Interest rates are at a 3-year low. Call Loan Pronto, 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com, 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781. Visit NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
2-on-1 now for Carolina. Blake, he's got the shot, scores! Jackson Blake, his 17th of the year, ties what he did last season and puts Carolina back up 3. It's 5-2.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. So we will have as we have really for as long as I can remember. We're going to have a ton of play-by-play coming up on our networks over the next few days, including tonight. Our sister stations, Mix 101.5 and Buzz Sports Radio, will have the separate broadcasts for the Duke at State game tonight right here, 99.9 The Fan, as always. You can hear the Canes game as they get a late night started at about 9:30 with Stormwatch with Adam Gold, and then 10 o'clock puck drop over there in Seattle.
Canes After Dark. It's back, folks.
I believe this is the last the last stretch of the really late games.
Yeah.
Which is kind of nice. They have 4 straight games, either 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. starts. After that, it's relative matinees. So,
yeah, they got to go out to Chicago and out to Utah for a short bit, but that's it. Everything else is Eastern time zone.
Beautiful.
Which I'll
take it. I will take it. Which is that, by the way, some trade targets and things have said they want to stay on the East Coast. Maybe you can slip in not only are the Canes in the East Coast, but their almost entire rest of the schedule is in the Eastern time zone. I don't know if that matters as much. But here's the deal, everybody. If there's a game you want to listen to, if it involves a local team, there's a really good chance that it's going to be found somewhere on our family of networks, if not right here on 99.9 The Fan that you're listening to right now. That's what I wanted to point out. Now, here on The Fan, we will jump into winners and losers.
This team will never lose again.
Winners and losers, more vibes and aura than scoreboard, but sometimes they align. Our first winner, Michael Jordan. And also Tyler Reddick, who's also doing the driving.
Yeah, I guess we can count him.
But Tyler Reddick, who drives for the NASCAR team owned by Michael Jordan, became the first driver in NASCAR history to win the first 3 races of a season, NASCAR Cup Series history, to win the first 3 races of a season, and he did so. He completed that, won the 3rd over the weekend. I think Michael Jordan knows a little something about three-peats. Do you know what else I like to see?
What's that?
Michael Jordan is a lot more visible, and you see, like, he's still the wild competitor that we all remember. Like, and the only time he smiles is when the race is over and they've won, and he's won 3 of them now in a row. So you're starting to see him around a little bit more. I understand he's completely, like, deserving of his privacy, and in his post-playing career, he can do whatever he wants. And if he wants to only give interviews to Mike Tirico in, like, a weird room that doesn't really reveal anything that we didn't already know, that's his right. But I like seeing him compete. There's something cool about it. It's nostalgic, and they're winning, which is awesome. Michael Jordan, winner. And I guess loser would be everyone that's not racing for a team not owned by Michael Jordan, because once he tastes the glory, he doesn't tend to let others share in the winning. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
You're either with him or against him.
To build on that, winner, NASCAR.
True.
Because I think back to about, 20, 25 years ago when NASCAR was hot.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that I found, this happens in a lot of sports, it happens with a lot of teams when you get casual fans that want to start bleeding into these niche sports, is oftentimes you find the people that have been there for a long time try and gatekeep the sport, and they keep the casual fans out. And it actually deters casual fans from joining in. Because like I said, about 20, 25 years ago, NASCAR was riding hot. But a lot of people that have been there for a long time are like, I don't want these people around my sport. How dare these people come around my sport? I've been watching this since I was whatever. And that, guess what? The casual fans went away and they never came back. You have to find a way to get casual fans to enjoy your product. And if it's people just watching Michael Jordan's, like, is Michael Jordan's team going to win this week? That's good for the sport.
Yep.
You need that, and NASCAR fans need to embrace that.
And you accidentally make other characters.
Yes.
Right? Because you're watching to see if Michael Jordan wins, and who's this other guy that keeps beating Jordan's team?
Yeah.
And then suddenly you know who that is. And then, actually, I kind of like the way he drives. And then all of a sudden you're like, or...
There's a fight in pit road, like, oh, I like this guy.
Yeah, or you're like my family, right? Where my dad grew up a Red Sox fan, so my brother became a Yankees fan just because he likes needling my dad, right? And like that all happens, right? So there's a lot of cool stuff going on there, and I'm with it. And that's a lesson for all sports, by the way. I catch it in hockey a lot, where it's like,
oh yeah,
oh really? Oh really? You're a blah blah fan? Well, who's this? And they show a picture of somebody from like '87, and it's like, that's the cost of entry of being a fan of the team that you want more people to be a fan of.
Yeah.
How about you just say like, oh really, you're a new fan? Cool. If you have any questions, I'll be over here.
It's like, it seemed like with, like, for example, use Carolina Hurricanes for example. It's like, why aren't they talking more about our team? And then get casual fans and stuff come like, well, you weren't here when Larry Onoff scored in the 5th overtime in 2002. It's like, I wasn't even in North Carolina.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
It's a lesson. There's a lesson there. Let's jump more. Speaking of the NHL, I'll go with this one. Loser NHL players this week. Who hasn't heard their name in trade rumors? And that can't be fun. Like the trade calculators online must have smoke coming out of them because everybody's plugging in every different player. And actually, this I think is a good way to put it in like big perspective. Dan Rosen of NHL.com posted the anecdote that Vincent Trocheck, former Kane, possible future Kane, said he's playing for the Rangers. Said he has already talked to his kids about the possibility of being traded just to prepare them, right? Because if you're traded, it's not like, all right, yeah, I'll put in my 2 weeks and then maybe later this month I'll find time to make it over there. It's like you're traded, you're gone, right? So he started talking to his kids, and Trocheck said that his son, who is 7, gave this response. My son was like, well, I'll stay because, I have a hockey team here. I didn't get traded. Said that to his dad. Like, well,
chirp his own dad. I love it.
Like, we're contenders here, and we're doing well, so I'll stay back. You go ahead. You take care of what you got to do. But it just, like, a 7-year-old doesn't get the full scope of it. Like, it's got to either be really exciting or really stink to be in, like, every trade rumor. Because there's been points where, like, I was trying to get a new job, And when I tell you every email I got back from a program director somewhere else, my wife and I were looking up real estate. We were looking up fun things to do in the area, and they'd be like, no, it's a form rejection. You are not being considered. And I'd just be like, well, just in case, I'll send 900 clips. Trade deadline, you have no control unless you have a no movement clause, which is a different beast, and obviously he's worked some to have that leverage. But if your name's in trade rumors, I feel for you. Not enough to be like, crying, but I feel for you. Do you have some winners and losers, Dennis?
I do.
Let's hear it.
Loser, Taylor Hall's teeth. Yeah.
I have winner Taylor Hall with fresh legs.
There you go.
He's playing great, but he did lose some teeth.
So Taylor Hall, he had already had an implant in his mouth already, just previous tooth loss playing hockey. So he got hit up high in the game on Saturday. Tooth actually popped out, so he lost it. But thankfully, it wasn't completely impacted, I guess, or implanted deep. So it did its job. Then the fact that if it gets jostled enough, it'll pop out, as opposed to, like he said, rip his gums off.
Yeah. I mean, you see why certain athletes just wait until their career is over to get everything fixed up permanently.
Oh, yeah.
I can only imagine how frustrating it is to get all that dental work done and then 2 weeks later take another puck to the mouth or a stick up high, and you're just like, why did I do it all? But he has scored a goal in each of their games since he's been back. That line is buzzing. He's got a bunch of points. Probably, dulls the anger a little bit, which is why he was a winner for me. Loser, UVA basketball.
Oh.
And not just for losing at Duke over the weekend, but their social media team posted before the game, sometimes you just have to hit 3 straight half-court shots. And it was just a clip of their players making 3 half-court shots in Cameron. And there's something ironic and a little bit bitter about doing we're just hitting half-court shots and then shooting 29% from the field and 20% from 3 in the game. And it's shot a great percentage in pregame from half-court, but didn't shoot very well in the game. And then, they only scored 51 points, which I believe 10 points lower than their season low this year. Pretty rough. More winners and losers. Winner. NFL Combine participants.
Okay.
NFL Combine averages. Okay. So this is just facts. Okay. The average 40-yard dash time for defensive backs, 4.44, fastest all time. Wide receivers, 4.44, fastest all time. Running backs, 4.45, fastest all time. Linebackers, 4.55, fastest all time. Quarterbacks, 4.6, second fastest all time. Tight ends, 4.63, fastest all time. Defensive linemen, offensive linemen, 4.83, 5.10, both the fastest of all time. It may have been a quick track. I don't know. They talk about that in swimming and stuff. It was a fast pool. The fastest average at all but one position in 40-yard dashes at this year's combine. Do you know what I was flabbergasted by this, and somebody gave me a really logical answer.
What's that?
They guess that people that are slow have stopped running entirely. Their agents.
That's true.
Their agents have started saying it's better to leave them thinking maybe you're slow than to run at the combine and confirm it. So just don't run. So now all the averages are coming down because only the fast guys are running.
Okay. That actually makes sense. Say, hey, you're going to run in the low 4.4s. Yeah, go run.
If you know you're going to improve your stock with your 40, run your 40. If you're not, don't even run it.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's good or bad. I think
wait till your pro day.
Wait till your pro day, get a little friendly timer. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
A little early click. Could work out for you. That's winners and losers here on The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan. As always, you can send us your winners and losers into our YouTube live stream comments, 99.9 The Fan on YouTube. Subscribe, and then you can drop your comments in underneath.
By the way, winner?
I'd love to hear it.
Social media for everyone refreshing their feeds. Is there a trade happening in the NHL? What's happening right now? Who's getting dealt? Is there a trade? Has a trade happened in the last 10 seconds since I last refreshed my feed?
Okay, well, now you got me on a thing. Loser. Anyone out there that thinks it's clever, funny, amusing to make a parody account and send out fake trades or fake news.
You're a loser.
if you think it's funny to take like Friedman's Twitter handle and turn an I into like a lowercase L and then send out a big trade that happened and try to catch everybody, it's not funny and you're a loser. I just want that to be known. And if you think it's someone, if you think it is funny to find one of those accounts and retweet it, you're a loser also, because you're an enabler. I mute all of them. I mute all of them, and new ones are made every year. Well, that's not Frank Saravalli. That's Frank Saravalli with one L. What are we doing? What's your game? I don't get why it's fun. I don't get why it's fun. Yeah, that's an I. It's not a one. That's so stupid. You're losers. Football at 4 coming up next. Stick around.
Meet Lee Platts, a renter whose possessions fill not only her apartment, but also the darkest corners of a mini storage unit. A land of both truth and fiction. Truth, everything inside is protected by Progressive. Fiction, one day Lee will fit into her clothes from senior year of high school. Renters, discover coverage for what you love and what you can't get rid of in Progressive's Protection Zone. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers.
It's not Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's Tuesday. Tuesday! The very first Tuesday.
New scratch-off tickets are available on the first Tuesday of every month.
Announcer said first Tuesday.
Brand new scratch-offs, brand new fun. Now from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Every first Tuesday.
Tuesday!
Must be 18 to play. Problem Gambling Helpline, 877-718-5543.
It's bow time.
Finally, lunchtime. I'm starving.
What's that?
This is the Bojangler from Bojangles.
With the same bold flavor as their chicken?
The same.
And fries.
The same.
Huh. Well, I've got a PB&J.
Yeah, that's not the same.
A crispy fish fillet dusted in Bo's famous seasoning. With cheese and tartar sauce on a fluffy bun, the Bojangler's back. Hook one while you can. It's bow time.
There's bow time, and then there's Bojangler time. You heard right. The Bojangler fish fillet sandwich is back for limited time at participating Bojangles. A light, flaky, perfectly seasoned fish fillet with lettuce, cheese, and tartar sauce tucked inside a bun. Make it a combo and add Bojangles seasoned fries and legendary iced tea. Hungry for Bojangles but in the mood for something different? Then it's Bojangler time.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm, injury lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it. Go to ritchielaw.com.
That's ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. Oh, what a change. Our temperatures a good 30 degrees colder this afternoon than they were yesterday, and it's breezy. Highs will only be in the mid-40s, and mid to late afternoon, we see a few patchy light showers, especially from the Triangle area northward. We drop into the upper 30s tonight, and tomorrow we could start with some drizzle. We'll see highs in the mid-50s, but then we're back into the 70s for Wednesday and 80s toward the end of the week.
4 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones today down 84 points to 48,893.
Let's move the chains. Time for football at 4.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is time for football at 4. By the way, we are 15 minutes away from Monday Soundoff. So if you have takes post-combine on what you think the Carolina Panthers should do with the draft, or free agency is coming up here in just a matter of days. If you have some ideas on who they should go grab or trade for, bring them to the table about 15 minutes from now. Same thing for college basketball takes, any of the local teams, any of the national teams. Canes takes, we want it all. 4:15. You can bookmark the phone number, 919-860-5326. It's the Heaster Automotive Group hotline. Don't call in yet. I'll tell you when it's open. But the number, 919-860-5326. 4-3-2-6. I do think there are certain, when you look at the Carolina Panthers offseason, and Dan Morgan has on this show and others either agreed with or sometimes even offered up some of the roles that they're trying to fill this offseason. Right? No coach would ever, no GM would ever say, like, we want this player. Just everybody that would like this player should trade up right in front of us. They won't do that. But he has talked about roles. He's talked about things like big play wide receiver, right? Somebody that can take a 5-yard hitch the distance, somebody that can catch it over the top. Edge rushers are obviously one that he has entertained and said they're going to explore every option to acquire. Off-ball linebackers is another one that he's talked about. So coming out of the combine, I think it's really good news. I think it's really good news for the Carolina Panthers because not only were those positions strong at the top, I think they're deep, and they're deep in these specific ways that the Panthers are looking to add. Okay? So if you're talking big play wide receiver, I know the combine is not always the best, people get blinded by the numbers, but if you want somebody that can catch a 60-yard touchdown, they can't get caught on the 10. Like, speed is a certain part of it. You're going to have to be able to outrun some people. And sure, if you wanted to, trade up and draft one of the top guys, you can guarantee it. But you did that last year with McMillan. I don't think they're going to use a first rounder on a wide receiver. In the middle rounds, maybe even the late rounds, there are some dudes that can flat out fly. And I've written down 3 of them. Bryce Lance. Yes, Trey Lance's little brother. Went to North Dakota State. Big dude, right? 6'3 plus, ran a 4.34. Do you know what's crazy about it? Christian Watson from Green Bay also went to North Dakota State. He and Bryce Lance are like identical prospects. Their heights, their weights, their speeds, and Watson climbed up draft boards pretty darn quickly, and if he could figure out how to stop pulling hamstrings, he might be really good in this league. What about Chris Brazzell from Tennessee? Might be a little bit higher, a little bit more of an accomplished prospect. Another tall dude, ran a 4.37.
Well, it's 6'4", right?
6'4", had been listed at 6'5", turns out a little bit shorter. Little Tedero McMillan-like.
But still 6'4".
6'4 plus. I think it's 6'4 and an eighth, something like that.
Hey, that makes a difference.
But 4.37 is not going to get caught. And if you watch his tape from Tennessee, I don't know if he's the most complete wide receiver in the world, but he doesn't get caught. And then the last one is Dijon. I don't even know how to pronounce it. Dijon Stribling from Ole Miss. I watched a bunch of his tape, but I watch it with mute. Big dude, 4.36. Can flat out fly. Just go watch his 2 games against Georgia. Catches a hitch, turns and runs up the sideline against Georgia, and it's like a 75-yard touchdown. That's exactly what Dan Morgan's describing. The reason I'm bringing these up, I think you might be able to fill some roles without having to use your super high-profile picks, right? If you want the super fast, can take a hitch the distance wide receiver, they might be available in the 4th. Now, I'm not saying you're going to get a complete wide receiver, right? You're not going to get a guy that's going to win on the over the middle route and a guy that's going to win on the goal line and a guy that's going to win. But that's why you have Ted McMillan and Jalen Coker. You need a guy that can go over the top and demand all the respect to open up Ted McMillan and Jalen Coker. You might be able to get that. Edge rushers. What I love to see at edge rusher, if I'm drafting 19th or if I'm hoping for one in the 2nd and 3rd round, are a bunch of dudes that can, I don't want to say distract, but that can occupy all the people above me that need edge rushers. Right? There's going to be players, there's going to be teams that need edge rushing in the top 10 of the draft every year. Right? So if you want a good edge rusher at 19, if you want a good edge rusher at 30-something, at 40-something, you're going to need some guys that the top group wants, right? Or else they're going to draft the ones that you want anyway, right? They all get pushed up. Arvell Reese from Ohio State had a bananas combine. David Bailey from Texas Tech had a bananas combine. And then you get to the next group, and Ruben Bain did very well. And somehow Ruben Bain measured in, the Miami edge rusher, measured in with really short arms, which is what everyone was saying was his issue. But everybody's suddenly cool with it. It's like we just wanted to see the number and go, yup, told you. Knew it. Okay, now we're going to draft him high anyway. Like, everybody seems to be more okay with it now that it's not like this if you know, you know thing. I've also heard, and this was, I think, a really good point. Daniel Jeremiah of NFL Network, I think. I don't want to get that wrong. He was an analyst. He was on with Rich Eisen. He is an analyst. He was on with Rich Eisen. He said, when I watch tape, if it looks like they're getting caught up, they're getting stalled, they're getting manhandled more than they should, I write short arms ? If they never do and I never write it down, I almost don't care if they have short arms because it's not holding them back, right? There are guys where it does. Ruben Bain is fast enough that it's hard to get hands on him anyway. So my point is the good guys look good. That's great. Dance a little further down because that's where I think the Panthers are going to be shopping for an edge rusher. Danny Dennis Sutton from Penn State. Lights out combine, 4.6, 340. TJ Parker from Clemson. Lights out combine and big, super strong senior night from him or senior bowl game and week from him. Now he's having a good combine. I think someone is going to benefit from the fact that Clemson just had a bad year this year. TJ Parker was a massive prospect going into the year, and Clemson, for whatever reason, like everybody underperformed and they were checked out by the last third of the season. So he tumbled a bunch. He might be a dude.
Friend of the program, TJ Parker.
We've had him on the show. Back when he was, I think, third projection in ESPN's mock draft.
Like top 5.
He's fallen a long way in the projections, but I watched him at the combine. Dude moves, right? And there's some other guys. There's a Falk from Auburn who tested really well.
Keldrick Falk.
But his hips looked super tight in the drills. Didn't look like he bent very well, which – good. Somebody draft him, right? Push another one further down. I think it's a really deep edge rusher draft, which is good for the Panthers. And then last point I want to make, and this is Dennis, I think, going to be music to your ears.
Go on.
Off-ball backers.
Go on.
I literally wrote all of them.
Yes. Yes.
This is, without joking, I think the best athletically a group of off-ball linebackers has performed and looked on both tape, because I watched a bunch of it earlier today because I saw these crazy combine scores and went, all right, let's see if it's real. You watch these guys on tape and you go, yep, there it is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, look. Sonny Styles is one everyone wants to talk about. He's not going to make it to 19. But Earlham's Orr from TCU runs a 4.47. I watched it on tape. He closes on a tackle, and I'm like, yep, there's 4.47. And you could list a billion. Jacob Rodriguez, who everybody told me wasn't a good athlete, right? He was darn near a Heisman winner on defense for Texas Tech. As an off-ball linebacker, did really gosh darn well for his size at the combine, ran a 4.57. So if you are the Panthers and you need an off-ball backer, there are kind of two ways to look at it. If you want to, there are top-shelf options. There are, right? If you want to use your first-round pick, or Dennis has even hinted at trading up for Sonny Styles.
Yes, I have.
If you want to do that, I don't think anyone will fault you for it, because there are complete prospects that have the tape, have the production, like the stats, and also have the combine to back it up, right? You don't trade up for guys that are missing one of those three. You need all three. But if you wanted to wait, I think there's going to be great, not good, great off-ball backers in the third round.
I just want a dude. Give me a dude in the front 7. I don't care where he plays. Give me a dude. Someone that's going to make plays. That's what I want. I don't care if he's a D-tackled, edge, off-ball backer, a dude that makes plays.
Well, some of the defensive tackles maybe didn't live up to everything.
Well, that's fine.
But
don't draft them.
At 19, I think I agree with what you're saying. But I'm saying you might get a dude at the 19, meaning 19th overall pick in the first round. You might get one in the third.
Give me dudes.
Like, you might get one in the third is what I'm getting at here. And if there is one, if there are two, if there are 10, if there are 15 at edge rusher / off-ball backer that you love, if you're Dan Morgan, I don't know about trading up in the first, but he has been aggressive in either moving up or down to go get the guys he wants in the mid-rounds. And if there's one, I would not be surprised if he's like, hey, we got a tier of 6 off-ball backers we love. He's picking in the second round. And he goes, let's be gangsters here. Let's draft something else and hope that one of these 6 make it. And if they don't make it to our next pick, if there's just one left, we just trade up and go get them. Like, there's a lot. I'm telling you, there are some guys that I didn't even know about. And I pay attention to college sports, and I pay attention to the draft ahead of the draft more so than darn near anybody I know. There were some guys I didn't know about, and they ran like a 4.54, and I was like, all right, let me go watch. And I came away going, that's a really, really good off-ball linebacker, and the Panthers could use one.
They could use about 4.
They might.
Let's be honest.
You could double up. You could do what you could do.
Absolutely.
You could do what they did at edge rusher last year. Probably not second and third, but maybe third and fourth.
Or spend in free agency, or at least to bring someone in and also draft somebody too. Like, you could do it that way too. I will say this, though, about Dan Morgan when it comes to making trades. He is not afraid to get creative with how he makes a trade. So, for example, when he moved up in the second round last year to draft Nick Scorton, he didn't sacrifice any picks. He actually took 3 other picks and swapped. So, really, it was 4 picks that he traded to get Nick Scorton, and he got 4 picks back. So, anyway, there were 4 picks that were swapped on each side of the draft. So, they moved down in some other spots in other rounds in order to move up in the second. So he didn't sacrifice draft capital in order to, or at least number of picks. Just creative ways to actually find ways to move up and get guys.
One of my, I think is easier in practice or in theory than in practice. I would be willing to move back all day in rounds 5, 6, 7, maybe 4, 5, 6, 7, because I think everyone's boards are so different by then that the chances of me moving back 10 picks and my guy going there is so low because, you're drafting for pick, you're drafting for flyers. Everybody values something different. I'd be significantly less likely to do it early because I do think there are some obvious players. But 4, 5, 6, 7, I'd be willing to move back. If that lets me move up in a second or third round to get my guy, I'll move back all day in the later rounds. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. My point is, it was a good combine for the positions that matter for the Panthers. It was a rough combine for some of the positions that don't matter for the Panthers, which that's just a little fortuitous, right? Like, oh, you're not drafting this position? Good, they all stunk. That's kind of nice. Just throwing that out there. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we move on and open up the phone lines for a Monday Soundoff, here's Dennis Cox with some information for you.
I do. Dennis Cox here real quick from my good friends over at Law Tigers. I don't know about you all, but I got outside and enjoyed that beautiful weather this weekend. Got the motorcycle out of storage, put over 100 miles on the bike. It was absolutely phenomenal. Saw a lot of motorcycles out there on the road. So as the weather gets warm, folks, just be cautious. You're going to see a lot of motorcycles out there on the road. So be smart. All right, always be on the lookout. And also, as a motorcycle rider, make yourself as visible as possible. And also, just assume that no one sees you at all. All right, so just be safe when you're out there on the road. But one thing I actually did do this weekend, I swung by and saw a beautiful motorcycle that is going to be given away that you can actually win. Because the Law Tigers are once again teaming up with your Carolina Hurricanes to give one lucky Caniac a custom Canes Ducati motorcycle. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's courtesy of Art Moto Garage and Shiny Side Paint. Art Moto Garage, located right there on Lake Wheeler Road, right here in Raleigh. Swing by. Go check it out. It's an absolutely phenomenal bike. Gorgeous V4 Ducati. It can be yours. Just go to caniacsbike.com. Enter for your chance to win. It's that simple. Go to caniacsbike.com. Bike will be given away on the ice at the game April 4th, which is basically a month away, folks. And it includes tickets into a catered suite. Deadline to enter, it's March 29th, so don't wait. Enter now. Go to caniacsbike.com. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
Let's open up the phone lines. Heister Automotive Group hotline is open now for your Monday Soundoff. 919-860-5326. 919-860-5326. Call in now with your takes on college basketball, Carolina Hurricanes, Carolina Panthers, anything. 919-860-5326. Doesn't have to be a local team either. Could be a team somewhere else. 919-860-5326. Monday Soundoff coming up next.
Get crazy, Canes fans. It's hockey night in Carolina. It's your Canes and Seattle.
Long rebound, Gostisbehere drives and scores! Shane Gostisbehere.
Storm Watch with Adam Gold at 9:30. Puck drop at 10.
2-on-1 now for Carolina. Blake, he's got the shot, scores! Jackson Blake, his 17th of the year.
On HD1, your official audio home of Hurricanes hockey. 99.9 The Fan.
Great investment. To Harper's mom, this logic has a few holes in it. So she helped Harper open a Wells Fargo Clear Access banking account. With no overdraft fees and tools to track spending, Harper's learning, one heavy metal tea at a time. However you make money work, Wells Fargo can work with that.
Terms apply. Visit wellsfargo.com/deposit disclosures for fees and details.
Hey, it's Flo here to say drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds.
Nice! With my new savings, I'll get some hiking gear. It'll be great for my outdoor era.
I don't know if it counts as an era if you just buy stuff.
I got a cute hiking backpack. It's an outdoor era.
Well, you only bought one thing. I don't think it's an era.
Well, I think we're in a agree to disagree era.
Yeah, sure, you're probably right. Anyway, with the money you could save by switching to Progressive, you can afford to switch to other things in life. It's
my savings era.
Also, everything you do is not an era.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Winter is in full swing, and Aleve is here to keep you moving. When the cold weather sets in, everyday aches and pains can linger, but Aleve's got your back. With up to 12 hours of body pain relief per dose, Aleve keeps you going with long-lasting body pain relief to get you through whatever the season brings. Chilly days or cozy nights, Aleve gives you that long-lasting body pain relief you can count on this winter. Try Aleve. Use as directed for minor aches and pains.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is time. It is that time of week, everybody. It is a Monday Soundoff. 919-860-5326. Heister Automotive Group hotline is open. If you didn't get through, if you aren't getting through, keep calling. As we get callers on, we will open up lines, and we want to hear from as many of you as possible. So 919-860-5326. If you didn't get through, wait a minute or two, try again. We'll start with an old friend of the show, Micah in Morrisville. Surprise, Micah wants to talk Canes. We want to hear it. Micah, welcome to the show. Go ahead and sound off.
All right, thanks for having me.
Mm-hmm.
First, it might sound like a broken record here, but it's trade deadline on Friday, and
can I guess? Can I guess? You need somebody with some edge. You want size and somebody at 2C.
I mean, yeah, a little bit, but my thing is, because whenever I make this point, you always come back and say, well, we have to give up somebody to get that. Well, yeah, of course, but the answer is, like, would you rather win a cup this year, or would you rather continue to make the playoffs and then get eliminated each year?
Well,
I think the answer
what player
is
are you
win the
talking
cup this year.
What player are you talking about?
My thing is, I don't think we need to go after a big fish. I think that would be an overpay. I think a clear answer to the situation is Braden Shen, the captain of the St. Louis Blues. I mean, I know his name is out there, but he brings the edge, and he could even step into 2C. I know we're talking about Trocheck, but if we add Trocheck, that helps because he's right-handed. He's going to win the face-offs, but that still doesn't address the issue of toughness. Like, he's a great 2C, but we need somebody that is going to go out there. Like, we've got eliminated the past 5 years, and it always comes down to us. It's not really us scoring goals. It comes down to us making a save, which Bussy hopefully can do. Freddie obviously can't. And then it comes down to us not scoring a power play goal. But whatever center we add isn't going to fix the power play issue. Our power play is fine. It literally comes down to size. And the perfect example of when we played the Red Wings a couple of days ago is Ben Sherratt, who is the Red Wings big guy, is just taking runs at Svetch, and nobody's doing anything. Like, Svetch is the only one that can protect himself in that situation. And so I think there's a clear answer. We just need to add size. I really, really hope we add Braden Shen. One of the Shen brothers, Braden's the best one, but he would help immediately. He's old, but he's a center. Yeah, he'd help.
I mean, if you think Shen is, like, you know, you're a little hypothetical there of would you rather win a cup this year or stay alive for more? If you think Shen is the difference between not winning and winning a cup, you make that move every time. I think that's putting a lot on Braden Shen. But I mean, again, assuming the price is right, I don't hate bringing in Shen. He's just an older guy, and they've avoided doing that. All right. Appreciate it, Micah, as always. Call back in anytime. Braden Shen, we went through it during our blind ranking this year, or this week, or last week, I guess would be. There's a whole bunch of 30-something centers that you could bring in, and I do think they would increase your chances a little bit this year. I just don't want to punt on 3 years' chances for 1 year. There's a lot of young guys that are going to be getting better in the Canes for a while. Let's go to Nick in High Point next up on the Heaster Automotive Group hotline. Nick in High Point wants to sound off on the Panthers. Nick, welcome to the show. Go ahead and sound off.
Hey, Tim. Yeah, I just wanted to talk about the Panthers' upcoming season.
Mm-hmm.
Hypothetically, we're only getting better. We're not losing many people this offseason. We're only gaining. But whenever I look at the schedule this upcoming season, it's a really tough one. So what I was thinking about is what happens if we don't live up to it? Does that apply any pressure to our front office to make any big moves? If we leave this next season with the same record that we had this year, then that might cause an explosion and a whole lot of firing. So what should the Panthers do? And then I got to ask, I know that you've answered broadly.
Mm-hmm.
At pick 19, who do you want?
All right. First of all, appreciate all of those comments. I'll try to answer them all individually. I'm always a little leery about judging schedule before the season starts. There are just because the Panthers are returning head coach, coordinator, quarterback, and darn near everybody else, doesn't mean everybody else is, right? Like the Bucs without Mike Evans are a big difference. There's a lot of changes there. So I'm not expecting or getting scared by a schedule until I see like the first month of the season.
You never know who's going to get hurt in the offseason, those kinds of things. You never know.
Exactly. As far as who I want at 19, I'm leaning more and more towards best available edge rusher. I can't really tell you who that is because I think there could be anywhere between 4 and 8 drafted above you. So I'm best available edge rusher is my I guess cheap way to answer that question. But there's a bunch of them that I like, and I think it's a position that is important enough to go with. But I do admit that's a bit of a cop-out. It's just, listen, and I know you're like, oh, you've answered it broadly. 19 is too far back to just have 19 names written down. You got to adjust, you got to pivot based on everything that happens above you. So yeah, I'll keep it vague for now, but we'll get more specific as, kind of everything above you starts shaking out. Back to the call-in line. It is a Monday sound off, 919-860-5326. You hear the horn. That means the lines are open. Let's go to Edward in Wendell. Wants to sound off on NC State. Edward, welcome to the show. Go ahead and sound off.
Tonight, big game versus Duke. If we can somewhat play close to them, it would be great. But one thing is we're third in the ACC on average points. So there is really no reason. We beat Duke in average points. But, again, they have a better defense than us. Cam Boozer, we got to guard that dude. And we just got to come out strong. If we can get more points than Notre Dame or beat them like Carolina did, since we beat Carolina, I think we come out with a win, a win with goals there.
All right. Hey, thank you very much, Edward. I'll co-sign a few things you said, and maybe not everything, but as always, thank you for calling in. And NC State is the third leading scoring team in the ACC on average. I wouldn't call them the third best scoring team in the ACC. They did pour it on early on some teams that were pretty darn overmatched. And in the games against the better teams this year, they have not been able to score at the same rate. I was just talking with Adam Gold. Adam Gold, in and out. I always kind of talk about us passing in the studio when his show is ending and our show's getting started. And he was asking who's the fourth best win for NC State? Who's the third best win for NC State? They don't have a lot of those premier wins, those resume building wins, and you need those at this time of year. We go back to the call-in line, Heaster Automotive Group hotline. Jeff in Raleigh wants to sound off on both the Wolfpack and the Canes. We want to hear it. Jeff, welcome to the show. Go ahead and sound off.
How you guys doing today? Yeah, the Wolfpack is
I'm going to go full Mr. T here with my prediction. It's going to be pain. It's going to be hard to watch. I'm thinking 25 points would be a win for the Pack. And then with the Canes, I think this trip starting tonight in Seattle is going to be monumental. What I want to see happen is there not be any trades, and then the deadline goes while they're on the road, and they just bond and then continue their ascent to be the last team standing. You guys have a great week. Talk to you again.
Thank you very much. Listen. I've watched Duke play. I've watched State play. I've seen every play they've had all year. To say 25 would be a win for NC State, that might be a little aggressive. The spread, by the way, and I don't know if we talked about this yet, the spread as it stands right now in the Duke-NC State game, Duke at NC State, is 9.5. That is the same that it was, granted it was at Duke, but it's the same opening line as Duke-Virginia. And Virginia was, whatever, like the 12th best team in the country. So there's something going on there. Vegas might know something we don't. And as far as not wanting any trades and then on the road and, right, you make it through the trade deadline and you bond, maybe. Like, I don't think they need to be shuffling, like, role players in and out. I don't think they need to be doing that. But if there's an opportunity for the big fish, I'm always a big swing guy. Like, I'm much more aggressive in that front than I think many are. So if you can tell me, like, hey, you're on the road, it could be kind of awkward, the trade deadline, but you can get XYZ superstar, I'm like, you know what? We'll find travel accommodations out of Calgary. Like, we'll do what we got to do. Let's go back to the call-in line. Pat in Durham wants to sound off on the Wolfpack. Pat, welcome to the show. The floor is yours.
Well, thank you so much. Great show, by the way.
Thank you.
Just wanted to, I saw NC State, and it just seems like, I don't know if the coach has lost the team but they just don't seem to have any fire to them. Like when a rebound goes up, if it comes to them, fine. But I don't see them scrapping for the ball. And if you want to see a team that when the ball hits the floor, they're going to go get it, I hope they're taking those tonight. Because Duke will probably get 80% of the 50-50 balls, or 90. And this season, almost the way they started and the way they were playing kind of reminds me of about 2 years ago when Carolina had that backcourt where that guy transferred out to Arizona and did really well. But by the end of the year, that team had enough of themselves. And they started out good, and they looked good, and then by the end of the year, it's like they just didn't have – they were ready to get the season over with. And I almost feel like that's what I'm looking at when I'm watching State.
All right.
Anyway,
I appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. That was the most calm way to say what I think most fans yell, where it's like, I don't see any fight. The 50-50 balls, they don't get any of them. Duke's going to get 80% of the 50-50 balls. But instead he was like, well, if you look at how NC State has been playing, I don't know if Will Wade has lost the team, but they don't fight. They don't clap for the ball. They don't get after it. Very soothing. It's like he needs to be doing audiobooks that people fall asleep to. Here's where I agree. It does appear as if State has a quote-unquote fight problem. I don't know if Will Wade lost the team. There's no way to know that without being inside the locker room and seeing how they react. But what I will say is, I've said it all year. Every team I've ever been a part of that was good, right? And I've been a part of some bad ones. I've been a part of some good ones. If the coach talked about us the way that Will Wade talks about his team, the next game we would be fouling out in the first quarter or first half of the first half, right? I know there's not quarters. You say we're not good. You say we don't have fight. You say we're not tough. You say we don't deserve to play or compete against the best of the ACC. You say the other team's better than us. You say the other team's better than us. You say this. You say that. You say we lost to Georgia Tech a million times. Like, we would be fouling out. And I don't see that same response from NC State, and I can get why fans would be frustrated. Let's get a caller from South Carolina on the show. Tim, great name, from South Carolina, wants to sound off on the Carolina Hurricanes. Tim, welcome to the show. Go ahead and take it away.
Yeah, just wanted to sound off on the Canes and what we're going to do when we face a team like the
Oh, we lost you there for a second. Go ahead and start over. Oh, we may have lost you again. One more try.
Can you hear me now?
Now I can. I got you. Go ahead, Tim, quick.
Yeah. So for the Canes, what are we going to do when we face a team like the Tampa Bay Lightning that ultimately has much more scoring firepower than we do in our kryptonite in the playoffs, which is either a team from Florida and or a Russian goaltender that we can't score on when times get tough in a 7-game series in the conference finals?
All right. I appreciate it. If I had the answer to that one, like what are they going to do when they face the teams that'll be waiting in the Eastern Conference Finals? What am I going to do, or what are they going to do when they face the hot Russian goaltender who's on fire? Like, I don't have answers to that, and I don't want to pretend like I do. Right? There will be unbelievable challenges on any run that ends up either with a Stanley Cup or that ends short of the Stanley Cup. And all you can do is, right, I mean, how are you going to beat a team that has more scoring firepower than you do? Well, you got to play better on defense, right? Like, how are you going to – if a goalie's playing great, how do you beat them? Well, you got to make it difficult for the other team to score, and you got to have better and more scoring chances so that goalie can make great saves and you still score a couple. Like, you're going to have to beat good teams on the way to a cup. Like, that's just – you're not going to skate by. And maybe it's happened a few times in history, but – you can't bank on just catching like an unbelievable amount of luck where a bunch of upsets happen on other parts of the bracket and you just keep getting easier and easier path. It just doesn't happen in hockey.
Yeah, you just got to hope. The toughest goalie you're probably going to face in the playoffs is Vasilevsky from Tampa. But the only time you're going to see him is in the Eastern Conference Final, which you never know what's going to happen.
Yes.
I mean, maybe Boston comes out of the Atlantic and you face Jeremy Swayman.
I want to be clear, Tim, in South Carolina. I wish I could say, oh, well, that when they're facing Tampa is when Sebastian Aho is going to cement his place as an ultimate superstar, and he's going to have 9 goals in 6 games, and they're going to win in 6. And Brandon Bussey is going to have the like series of his life. Like, I wish I could say that, but there's just no way we know, right? You just put the best team you can out there on the ice. Maybe they make a big trade to try to bolster and get more scoring pop on their side. Who knows? But I don't want to give you any kind of false pretenses like I have a crystal ball to look in here. Bob and Selma is up next on the Heaster Automotive Group hotline. He is in the interest of sounding off on both UNC basketball and the Canes. Bob, welcome to the show. Go ahead and sound off.
There we go, my man. Yeah, the Ken Palm ratings come out, and Carolina's not even the top 25 of it, and we're 4-1 against the field ahead of us. I just feel like that was disrespectful. I'm like, what are you guys looking at? Because the team can play. I understand Caleb's not there. It's fine. The team seems like they've adjusted, and they're on a good, decent track now. But that's about that. As far as the Canes, I was at the game Saturday night, man. What an atmosphere. The last caller talking about scoring, I don't think we have a problem scoring at all. I mean, we put up goals. Our issue is defensive lapses at times, and sometimes bad puck management, just giving it away to another team. I think Blake gave one of the goals basically to the Red Wings this weekend as we were there. I mean, just a bad pass, blind pass, picked off, and next thing you know, it's in the goal. Anderson looked good, and it seems like he's almost got his mojo back. The guys that went to the Olympics look really good. The power play kill, the penalty kill now is like back to what we were expecting with Slavin in. I think we're going to be fine. That Stanko's line with Hall.
Yep. And Jackson Blake.
Yep, Blake. And today, the game, it was Ghost and Nikishin in there on defense. Man, they look really good. Really good. I'm pretty sure two of the 5 goals came off that line. It could have been 3. Had a couple drinks while I was there. So I'm not exactly sure. The Aho line looked good. I know they had 2 goals in that game. I'm pretty sure Aho had 1 and Darby had 1.
Yep.
So I'm not too worried about it going in the playoffs. People are all worried. I'm like, the team's honestly the second best team in the league right now. I understand that Tampa has a game in hand. That's fine. They're looking like they're on the struggle bus right now, and we just beat them. Yes, they did come back from the 3-0, and it almost looked like the Wings were going to do it, but when the time came, the goals came.
I'm
so
with
it. Looks like the guys know when to turn it on and turn it off. That's about all I got for that. I don't expect any big trade. I don't really want to upset the apple cart.
All right, Bob, I appreciate it. There's two things to respond to there. For the UNC Ken Palm, I don't know the actual algorithms that go into it, right? I don't have the actual equations. It's the losses that are hurting UNC. They don't have many of them, but they're not ones you want. That's the deal there, right? The Stanford loss, the Cal loss, the Miami loss, and getting beat handily by NC State. Those it's right there for you, right? Like, it's the losses. Even the SMU loss, like they got 6 losses, but that's where it hurts you. The wins are there. They have some really good wins, by the way. Duke, Kansas, Kentucky, Virginia. 2 of those on the road, like they've got some wins, but it's the losses that are holding them back. And by the way, like outside the top 25, I know it's true. I think they're 28th, so that's they're not even in the top 25. It's like they're knocking on the door. And for the Canes, it's all, like, I don't think anybody questions really their ability to do anything in the regular season. It's always it's a little bit more physical. It's a little bit more this. It's a little bit more that in the postseason, and that's where some of the concerns pop up. I don't think anybody's accusing them of not being able to score in the regular season. Let's go. We have a couple more here. Try to get to them both. We have Isaiah in Wake Forest wants to sound off on the Panthers and Heels. Isaiah, thank you for being patient. Go ahead and sound off.
Hey, thank you. Before I get to my Tar Heels and Canes, really quickly about the Canes.
Mm-hmm.
I do not want to trade for the trade deadline. You're number 1 in the East. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's just my opinion.
Okay.
On the Carolina Panthers, when I saw Dave Canales voluntarily hand over the offensive play calling duties to Brian Idzik, I was very happy because I feel like it was obvious and clear throughout this season that Dave Canales could not trust Bryce Young. It was not going to work out. He was not going to trust Bryce Young to give him the full ropes. My hope is that Brad Idzik is willing to do that. If he's not, you're going to have to find somebody who does, because the quarterback, I feel like when you give him control of the playbook, I feel like he's not been the problem. I feel like he's done well, and I feel like you're going to have to find somebody to work with Bryce Young, not somebody to work with the offensive coordinator and coach. And then with the Tar Heels real quick, they're getting wins. They got a good win against Virginia Tech. Without Caleb Wilson, I know they went down on the Ken Palm. It is what it is, but really what matters is how they do in the ACC tournament and what they get ranked on Selection Sunday, so I'm not too worried about that. Hopefully they'll get a win against Duke and Clemson on Tuesday. Thanks for taking my call.
Thank you. I think the Idzik promotion to play caller is as much about relationship as it is about football. I agree with you on that. They're humans. They're people, right? I don't think I'm not even sure Brad Idzik is going to be like entirely different from what Dave can. They're buddies. They think the game the same way. They design the offense together. I do think he can have slightly better feel for when to try their kind of rule breakers and tendency breakers, but I do think it's most interesting to me because of what it can do for the relationship between play caller and quarterback, because, Canales and Bryce have lived a life together. All right, let's go to our last caller. End it with a highlight here. Joe in Wilmington wants to sound off on Michael Jordan and NASCAR. Joe, welcome to the show. The floor is yours.
What's going on? Yeah, I'm about tired of all this Duke, NC State talk. Let's talk about the Tar Heels for a minute. The legend, Michael Jordan, that's a good three-peat he had right there.
Mm-hmm.
The first 3 races, he set a record, and I think that's pretty cool for NASCAR. And then, just watching Jordan in the pits and after the race, he's just so excited about, living pretty much his whole dream. And, he's just competitive, and I like it. And, I'm not a 2311 fan. I'm not a Denny Hamlin fan. I can't stand the guy, but I'm a Larson fan. But I think it's cool for NASCAR and Michael Jordan and those boys for sure.
Joe, I appreciate it, and you're exactly right. I love that he's even calling in to hype up MJ and acknowledging he doesn't like Denny Hamlin. And I believe their team is 23-11, right? Because 23 for MJ, obviously 11 for Denny Hamlin's old number. So they're partners in this. And you don't have to root for MJ to understand that he's bringing a lot of eyeballs to the sport. Right? It's just what happens in sports. You get somebody famous, they show up. people go, oh, that's interesting. I should pay attention to it. And then they have, whether you're rooting for them or not, they get a favorite and it spreads. NASCAR is a sport that could use more fans. Every sport is a sport that can use more fans. And yeah, I mean, it's just, as somebody that grew up when I grew up, just seeing MJ's competitive spirit light up again, you know, all the legends about him on the golf course and everything, we don't get to see that. We just get to hear, you know, Justin Thomas saying, you know, hey, I played with MJ at his course, and oh, we've had this much money per hole, and oh, he made this putt. But we don't get to see that. Like the NASCAR stuff, we get to see MJ compete. Remember Last Dance? Remember how excited everybody was to see MJ throwing quarters at a wall just because he was competing against a security guard, and we were like, oh, I love watching this guy compete. Now we get to see it again. I don't care if it's tiddlywinks. It is NASCAR, but I don't care if it's ping pong. Like, I'd watch that guy compete against anything. And there you have it. That is a Monday Sound Off. Thank you to everybody that calls in, everybody that waits patiently, and thank you to everybody that calls in and doesn't get through. We do our best to rip through a whole bunch of them. We have Canes' first goal scorer predictions come up. I will tell you what you have to do and what you have to do to call in for that in a second. But first, Dennis Cox has some info for you.
I do. Dennis Cox here real quick for Loan Pronto. Folks, are high-interest credit cards and other loans just sucking the life out of your finances? Well, it's time to say no more. Let Loan Pronto tap the equity in your home and get the cash you need now so you can pay it all off. One couple, Corey and Jack, they called Loan Pronto, and in a matter of days, they had $160,000. They kept their 3% mortgage intact and didn't even need an appraisal. With all that cash, they wiped out all their credit cards and 2 car loans, saving $2,000 a month. You can do it now, too. LoanPronto.com, their rapid equity loan program, you can get $100,000, $200,000, even $500,000 in cash. Another couple, Chloe and Ethan, they just did that. They consolidated all their high interest debt into one super low monthly payment, giving them an extra $1,000 a month. Just imagine this. You pay off all your credit cards. You slash your monthly payments. You breathe a little bit easier, and you get your life back. Interest rates, they're at a 3-year low. So call Loan Pronto now, 919-381-1760, or visit loanpronto.com, 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781. Visit nmlsconsumeraccess.org.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. There is a game tonight, late night, Carolina Hurricanes at the Seattle Seahawks. If you want to make a first goal scorer prediction, who will score the first goal for the Canes and in what period you think they will score it, call in now, 919-860-5326. We can take a couple of you, maybe a few. 919-860-5326, Heister Automotive Group hotline. Who will score the first goal for the Carolina Hurricanes and in what period you think they will score it? We'll give you our predictions. We'll preview the game. All of it coming up next.
Listen for the Get That Out of Here's.
Rejected. Cameron Boozer got a piece. Get that out of there.
The deep looks from downtown.
Arsenault, pull up 3, top of the arc. Buries it.
They got posters.
Shot is up, missed. Hammer time. Put back jam by Lubin.
The road to Indianapolis runs through 99.9. The Fan, driven by Fast Park and Relax, Chapel Hill Tire and Roof Works.
When it comes to your roof, it's all about quality above with peace of mind below. Hi, this is Holly with RoofWorks. We're proud to be in our 20th year helping families and businesses keep the roof over their heads as economically as possible. We work on every type of roof, gutters, and skylights with quality repairs, maintenance, and replacements for your home, your business, and multifamily. We offer warranties with every new roof and financing options for homeowners. And we're now serving Southern Pines as well. Visit us to learn more at roofwerks.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
Hey, what do you say? John Forsland here from my friends at Buffalo Brothers. It's the best time of the year for college basketball, and Buffalo Brothers is a slam dunk. Best place in the Triangle to watch all the big games. They always have great drink specials, and check this out. Every Monday, half-price wings all day. That's half-price wings all day Monday. Dine in only. Now that's a deal, baby. Check out any of their 5 Triangle locations or online at buffbrothers.com. Aw, man, now I want wings.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. By the way, you can call in now for first goal scorer predictions, 919-860-5326. You can also, I'm going to put a little bit of space between it because 99.9 The Fan and Buffalo Brothers, or actually that's where we'll be. You can join 99.9 The Fan at the Buffalo Brothers in Cary this Thursday from 6 to 8 p.m. To hang out with Victoria. That's Victoria from the Adam Gold Show. And you will have a chance to win a pair of tickets to the Canes versus St. Louis game on Thursday, March 12th. Victoria will be giving away one pair of tickets every 8 minutes. That's 8. Like after 7, before 9. That's crazy. Every 8 minutes, they'll be giving away a pair of tickets while she's there from 6 to 8. That is Buffalo Brothers in Cary this Thursday night. Check it out. Your chances of winning have to be good. Every 8 minutes. But don't take it from me. Go out there, stop out, and see for yourself. Let's get some caller first goal scorer predictions here. We have Taylor and Holly Springs up first. Reigning champ, by the way. Taylor did get it correct with Ehlers in the first. The last time we did this on a show day. So, Taylor, stay hot. Who's going to get the first goal this game?
I am going to go with Jackson Blake in the first period, and I think it'll be during a line switch. He's going to come off the bench and get it within the next, 10 seconds.
All right. You're getting that's a little bit of a heat check there after getting it right with Ehlers. Now, line switch, this many minutes on the clock, I like it. I like it, Taylor. So congratulations on your win last time, and we'll see if you can keep it going, all right?
Thank you.
All right. That brings us to Brian in Holly Springs. Brian, who scores the first goal and in what period for the Carolina Hurricanes?
I'm going with Taylor Hall and what's left of his teeth in the first period, 5-on-5.
All right. You are locked in as well. Good luck to you, Brian. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
For everyone else at 99.9 The Fan, Jacob Slavin is Adam's pick. In the second, his first goal of the year, Jacob Slavin. Victoria went with Jarvis in the first, as did Max. That's Max, the producer of Next Up with Paul Ihander. Paul Ihander went with Stankoven in the first with his family in town, right? He's kind of a West Coast Canada guy, so they're coming down to perhaps be on the roadie a little bit. So Paul thinks the potential home eyeballs give him a little bit of a burst. Dennis, who's your first goal scorer prediction?
Give me Jalen Chatfield, second period.
Chatty.
Second period. A little slow start, long travel and all that. A little slow start, but give me Chatfield jumping up in the play in the second period.
All right, I'm rolling. I'm going to stay on this train. Sebastian Aho in the first. He's got a goal in each of their last two. I think he gets them started here. Something real early, like first 5 minutes of the game. Aho stays on fire. Speaking of the game against Seattle tonight, big road trip here. It feels like they've got a lot going in their direction. They've got a lot of good vibes coming out of the Olympic break, right? They got a gold medal. They got a silver medal. They got a bronze medal. They got a good performance from some guys on Denmark. Freddie Anderson played well in their last game, so perhaps the The Olympic break spent with his Denmark team did some good there. A line that many were really worried about, that second line with Stankoven, Blake, and Taylor Hall, has come out and been a strength. They're, for those of you that are superstitious, be a little, earmuffs. They're healthy right now, which appears I wasn't going to say anything bad. I was just going to say if you're superstitious, could be considered a jinx. They seem healthy at the moment, which is nice to see. Guys are buzzing. Obviously, Jarvie and Aho and that line is doing their thing. So what do you do when everything seems to be kind of going in your direction? Well, how about you take 4 games in essentially a week and just go play them all in West Coast, late night Eastern Standard Time games and see how it goes, right? You catch Seattle, Vancouver, Edmonton, and Calgary all on the road. The 2nd, 4th, 6th, and 7th of March. So you end the road trip with a back-to-back. This is like a good mental test. We had the caller that called in and said they didn't want to see any trades, right? Wanted the trade deadline to come and go while they are on the road and have it be a bonding experience, right? You'll have that moment in an away hotel where you look around and you go, this is us. Right? There's nobody else. They want to have that bonding moment. I don't know if that'll happen. There might be a big trade. I'm not saying there will or won't be. But I am saying there's going to be some adversity. There's going to be some tough environments, and you're going to have to play well, and you're going to be tired, right? And it's going to be the first time kind of post-Olympic break that your legs are going to feel heavy, and you're going to have to go out there, and you're going to have to play, and you're going to have to prove to everybody why you are at the top of the Eastern Conference, right? Why you are at the top of the Metropolitan Division, why you are considered one of the favorites to win the East. And I kind of like that as a spot check right now, right? Because if it goes well, great. You pass the test, flying colors. Let's keep it rolling. If you have some stumbles here, that's that humbling thing that can kind of spur your focus through the back stretch of the season, which is also good, right? Sometimes a little smack in the face is good as well. What I will say is, and I asked this question on social media, right? Going into the Olympic break and obviously coming out of the Olympic break because nothing changes, the 3 top teams in the East were Tampa, Carolina, and Detroit. Tampa, Carolina, Detroit. Carolina beat Tampa and then beat Detroit in their 2 games after the Olympic break. And I kind of asked, statement made. And what it proved to me is exactly what we've been saying about Carolina all along. There is not a darn thing Carolina can prove in the regular season. The amount of, both teams used a backup goalie. Tampa was on the second half of a back-to-back. Both 3-0 leads were dwindling down to at least 1 goal. I'm with it, right? Yeah, they still need a 2C. They still need this. I love it. Right? Go full Kobe Bryant. Job finished, job not finished. I don't think so, right? Nothing is done now. Right? I'm with that. As optimistic as I am, they went the month of February without losing. Granted, there was a nice little 3-week break in the middle for the Olympics. But they beat the Kings, they beat Ottawa, they beat New York. They went to the Olympics, got 3 medals. They beat Tampa. They beat Detroit. That's a really good February. Really good. And the fact that the fans are looking around and Carolina fans are still a little bit pessimistic. They're a little bit, it doesn't matter if you don't do this. Doesn't matter if you don't get size. Doesn't matter if you don't get a better second-line center. Doesn't matter. I kind of like that right now. Right? There's no resting on laurels by any stretch. You beat Tampa, you beat Detroit, you lose on the road at Seattle. There's going to be uproar, and I kind of respect that. With that being said, we will talk about tonight's game against Seattle, but just because we haven't done enough of it and because we've had so much to get to, I thought that was a really good win against Detroit. I thought it was a really good win. I thought it was really nice to see Freddie play well in net. I thought it was really nice to see the Taylor Hall, Stankoven, Blake line do it twice, right? Just continue being productive. I thought it was a really even the goal that found Aho, right? Where he's trying to set it up for Jarvis and it gets deflected in. Like there's just a lot of, if you keep doing the right thing, eventually you'll be rewarded for it. It goes along with what Dennis was saying earlier, right? I put the Stankoven line kind of in my winners, or I forget what I did. I highlighted them, and Dennis was like, they were playing well before the break.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a good point because they were. It's just now the numbers are backing it up, right? They had all the high leverage chances. They had all of these good looks created and all of these things, but they weren't necessarily being rewarded in the same way. The last 2 games, they've been rewarded with the goals and the points and everything you're looking for. There's a lot of that going on with the Canes, where it's like, yeah, if you keep doing good things, eventually, if they haven't already, the results will come, and they're doing really well, and I saw that against Detroit.
Something, there's a tease maybe possibly headed tomorrow, but here's a legit question you have to ask yourself if you're Carolina in the front office. You know your top line, Aho, Jarvis, Svech, great trio. You know that already. The way that Stankoven, Hall, and Blake are playing together, how do you split that up if you make a move? If you're trying to go for a top 6 forward or as well as they're playing right now, you don't want to upset the apple cart. Like, that's something you have to keep as well. Like, there is still a locker room with people. Like, those are all things. Like, you start messing with the chemistry a little bit, you don't know if things are going to go the right way. Like, those are all stuff you have to take into consideration with the trade deadline. I've
said it all year, so I'm going to try to honor that. I don't think Taylor Hall is long time's second-line minutes guy. I think he's fantastic in spurts, but we're seeing it now. Him with fresh legs is awesome. Mm-hmm. And getting the break and how he's played since he's come out since he's come out of the break is awesome. I don't know if it's like, hey, for 25 games, let's just roll the 22-year-old, the 23-year-old, and the 34, 35-year-old out there and treat them as if they all have the same energy reserves. Like, I don't know if that's the move, but to your point, playing pretty darn well, and I'm not sure you want to mix that up at the moment. So, that's why Rod gets paid the big bucks,
and Tulsky too.
They get to make those decisions, which is also why I don't think I would be surprised if they make like significant moves that are kind of just shuffling. I think if they make a move, it'll be a big one, and it'll be to get one of those guys you can't really fault them for getting. But I don't know if you just shuffle things around just to shuffle things around, because they are going well. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we move on, Tim Donnelly here for Bailey's Fine Jewelry. If you haven't done so already, you need to follow Fox and Bailey Watch Shop on Instagram. That's the handle, at Fox and Bailey Watch Shop. Why? Because they have a extensive selection of pre-owned and vintage luxury timepieces. You're talking Rolex, Cartier, some pre-owned and vintage Omegas come through in addition to the awesome Omega boutique that they have with all of the newest, latest, and most classic Omegas. But if you follow them on Instagram, you would know that, I don't know if it's still there, but as of a couple days ago, they had a 1996 Rolex GMT Master root beer. That's the root beer dial. That's the nickname. If you know, you know. They have the Rolex Sub with the Surrey dial. They have the Rolex Milgauss with the white dial. All of these new into the facility, into the Fox and Bailey Watch Shop in the last, week or so. And they might not be there that long, right? So if you follow them on Instagram, you see them post, hey, boom, new in stock. If that's your dream watch, you call them up. You get out there as quick as you can. I'd still encourage you to stop by and see their entire selection as often as you can, because it does change quite a bit. But following them on Instagram will, up your chances of not missing out if your dream watch makes it into the store. So it's Bailey's Fine Jewelry, Village District location in Raleigh, the Fox and Bailey Watch Shop. Also, all of their traditional showcases are great. Check them out, and when you're there, make sure they know you heard about it from me, Tim, right here on 99.9 The Fan. We'll take a break. When we come back, starting 5 time. It was a great weekend of college basketball. We'll break it down for you next.
Get crazy, Canes fans. It's hockey night in Carolina. It's your Canes and Seattle.
Long rebound, Gostisbehere drives and scores! Shane Gostisbehere.
Storm Watch with Adam Gold at 9:30. Puck drop at 10.
2-on-1 now for Carolina. Blake, he's got the shot, scores! Jackson Blake, his 17th of the year.
On on your official audio home of Hurricanes hockey, 99.9 The Fan.
Life's great stories are built on yes and. Yes to the big game and the private suite. Yes to the beach and sailing offshore. Yes to traveling the country and exploring new ones. With the new Millionaire for Life from the North Carolina Education Lottery, you can say yes to $1 million now and every year for a lifetime. Millionaire for Life. Winning is just the beginning. Drawing 7 days a week. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning are 1 in 8.47. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Hi, Greg Talbot with Strategic Tax Resolution. Tax enforcement and defense strategies have changed a lot over the last year. After nearly 5 years, the IRS has restarted automated collections. You could be next for bank levies and wage garnishments. Ignoring the issue is not an option. Call 984-272-2600 to get protected. Do you have unfiled returns or tax debt? We work directly with the IRS and states so you don't have to. Let us use our proven strategies and experience with the IRS and state to resolve your tax issue. Qualified clients have cut their tax debt by more than 90%. How would that feel? Act now to learn the latest updates to tax relief programs. Your eligibility may not be the same. Strategic Tax Resolution. Local, trusted, A+ rated by the BBB. Call 984-272-2600. Ask for me, Greg Talbot. 984-272-2600. You've got a guy on your side. StrategicTaxResolution.com. Get relief.
Stay informed with The Rundown, the daily newsletter from High School OT that delivers high school sports news and insights straight to your inbox. Brought to you by High School OT and powered by our sponsors, First Carolina Bank and Smith Douglas Homes. Subscribe to The Rundown at highschoolot.com.
During Pirate Nation Gives, Pirates everywhere unite to support East Carolina University. Your generosity unlocks opportunities and builds impact for our students and our state. Give March 4th at give.ecu.edu. That's give.ecu.edu.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Big truck accidents can cause life-changing injuries, and life-changing injuries deserve life-changing money. I know big truck wrecks, and I know how to fight those big insurance companies. If you've been hurt by a big truck, contact us at ritchielaw.com. I'm on top of it.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm WRAL meteorologist Mike Mays. The clouds will persist this evening and overnight. About a 20 to 30% chance for some spotty light rain with a low at 39. Tuesday, it's morning clouds. Some sunshine possible in the afternoon with a high around 60.
5 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones at the closing bell today down 73 points to 48,904.
It's 5 o'clock. Time to serve up the biggest sports stories of the day. Here comes your starting five.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Don't forget to follow, I should say subscribe to our YouTube, 99.9 The Fan. And also, download our app, 99.9 The Fan. Google Play, App Store, depending on which type of phone you have. With that being said, and you obviously having done it or doing it as we speak, it'll now be time for the starting five. And as always, the starting five starts with number 5.
Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Copeland, top of the arc, whips it right. McNeil, he steps in for the tie and drills it right side. McNeil, there's the answer. And that ends the drought. It's tied at 84, 3:18 and ticking.
NC State lost to Notre Dame over the weekend, 96-90 in overtime. That's a really bad loss. That's a really bad loss for a few reasons. It's a bad loss because you're the more talented team. And I say that, you know, even though I understand how frustrating that would be for Notre Dame fans to go, we just beat them on the floor. How are you saying they're more talented? Because they are. It's a frustrating loss because you had a multi-possession lead with a few minutes left. It's a frustrating loss because once you had that multi-possession lead with a few minutes left, you settled for a lot of threes, and you missed a lot of threes. In the last 3 minutes and 23 seconds of the game, the regulation, I should say, of regulation, NC State missed 5 threes and 1 putback. As they went from ahead 81-74 to tied going into overtime. Let's hear from Will Wade, shall we? Will Wade on the post-game radio on the late game struggles in regulation.
Yeah, I mean, they went zone late. I mean, we got some good looks, but we needed to drive the ball, draw some fouls. We just didn't finish off plays against the zone. And like I said, we had good shots, but you can't turn into a jump shooting team against the zone. You got to be able to get the ball to the middle and drive it. And we just weren't able to do that, and ended with a bunch of empty possessions where we couldn't score. And it was a game where, we couldn't stop them, and so it was a game where we had to score to keep up. And when we don't score down the stretch there, then it was really difficult for us to keep up. And so that's where the game got away from us.
State is too good. They're too veteran to be like, oh, we had the lead and they went zone, baffled us. And settling for threes sometimes is the move. Okay, like if you have the shooters and you're knocking them down, you can shoot a team out of a zone. But in the final moments, the thing he said about not getting to the free throw line sticks out to me. Just force the issue, right? Just force the issue. Go try to dunk on somebody, right? Get the foul, one free throw, game over, you win. That's frustrating. They play Duke tonight. We'll talk about it in a couple minutes. We'll see how that one goes. That brings us from number 5 to number 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, all together.
White at the shot clock buzzer, threw up an air ball. Now the Blue Devils running the other way. It's Evans with a left-hand punch. And the lead grows to 21.
Duke smoked Virginia over the weekend, 77-51. If those were the two best teams in the ACC, as most of the metrics and analytics said going into that game, Duke made a statement that there is them and then a gap and then the rest of the ACC. That and very early in the game, two things happened that were like, oh, this one's over. One, Isaiah Evans hit a bundle of threes, right? I think he had the first 9 points, all from the three-point line for Duke. And Duke, when they're shooting the three well, is another level of team. And two, DeRitter from Virginia got in foul trouble. And almost immediately, right, the size, and if there was an advantage Virginia had, it was with a little bit of their size was taken away. And then Boozer just did Boozer things. Ugly game, did not play his best, missed a bunch of shots, finished with a really good scoring output, or I should say kind of stat sheet stuffing output of 18 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists. The crazy part was at one point he had like 1 field goal make and he had 11 points. Dude was just getting to the free throw line like nobody's business. I said there were a lot of jokes after this game. My favorite was, oh, how nice of Duke to honor Tony Bennett by holding Virginia to 51 points.
That's good.
I was like, that's good. Pretty solid. I like that one.
Well played.
The fact of the matter is, Virginia helped, right? They missed some shots. They missed some open threes. They were a little lackadaisical on defense and got some guys in foul trouble. And Duke is a team they don't need your help, right? You're gonna have to really play your kind of cleanest game, or else they'll just continue to take advantage of it, especially if they're knocking down threes. They shot 50% from 3. They shot better from 3 than they did from the field. If that happens, I mean, maybe Michigan and Arizona can give them a run.
Yeah, well, Michigan can't.
They gave them a run.
They gave them a run, yeah.
And neither team shot well from 3 there. But if I'm saying if Duke shoots well from 3, maybe Michigan, if Michigan shoots well from 3, can give them a run. But I don't see many teams being able to hang with them if they shoot 50% from 3.
Yeah, good luck.
And that's a lesson for State tonight, right? You can't let Isaiah Evans and a few of these guys get hot from 3, because you're just going to set yourself up to be in a really tough spot. And also, Darren Harris is playing more, and he's another shooter, so maybe that's a little adjustment that John Shire makes moving forward when they need that shooting ability. Darren Harris hasn't played much in his time at Duke, but his reputation is one of a shooter. Tough one for UVA, though. Tough one for Virginia. That's number 4. Let's get to number 3.
Looking for Trimble. Instead has to go high post to Vasar. Back to the basket. Vasar's just going to turn and shoot it. Yes! Vasar for 3.
UNC beat Virginia Tech 89-82 at home. Vasar and Trimble show. We've had games where UNC was the Vasar and Wilson show. Wilson and Vasar show. Now it's appearing to settle into a little bit of the Vasar and Trimble show, which, by the way, it's not tonight. I believe it'll be tomorrow. Let me make sure I get this right. Tomorrow against Clemson. UNC will have their senior day, and they are bringing back senior speeches. So stay after the game if you're going to be there for Elijah Davis and Seth Trimble, who will be addressing the crowd. No disrespect to Elijah Davis. I think that's a Seth Trimble move, right? They understand, and he even threatened or went into the portal and like there's all those stories. He's stuck around and he's playing some really good basketball now. 50 points in his last two games. I believe he's the ACC Player of the Week. That is best case scenario for UNC in the Caleb Wilson absence, right? And Caleb Wilson has what was called a very small chance by one of Pat Welter of WRAL sources of being back for the Duke game, but is participating in certain practices, no 5-on-5. If Vasar and Trimble become comfortable being number 1 and number 2, while Caleb Wilson is out, meaning number 1 and number 2 options, meaning being depended upon, like number 1 and number 2 options are depended on, where it's like, no, you have to perform. You have to score. You have to be efficient. This is not a day. There is not a day where you can have an off day. If they become comfortable in that, then you bring in Caleb Wilson. That's where UNC can become a very interesting team in the postseason, right? Caleb Wilson left. They were a 2-man show offensively with Vasar and Wilson. If when he comes back, they can be a 3-man show with one of them being on the perimeter and Seth Trimble, that makes them a very different team, right? Now, that's a big if, right? Seth Trimble has been a bit inconsistent of a scorer, but if he can up that consistency a good bit, I would be very, very interested in what UNC has in the postseason. I thought John Rothstein, who covers the sport nationally, college basketball, put it pretty well. He said, North Carolina lost Seth Trimble for over a month. It's been without Caleb Wilson for multiple weeks. They're 23-6 with wins over Kansas, Kentucky, Duke, and Virginia, with Kentucky and Virginia coming on the road. It's a really good resume. Again, some of the losses are ones that are going to hold you back, but if Wilson comes back and is 100%, I think they're going to be a team nobody wants to see in the postseason. Matter of fact, let's hear from Hubert Davis, specifically the latest on Caleb Wilson, because when he returns, if he's 100%, I think decides a lot of how dangerous they are, I should say, in the postseason.
Yeah, there is an update. He doesn't have his cast on anymore, and he's allowed to. Can't do anything 5-on-5, but he can do individual workouts and he can dribble, shoot. He can do everything, just nothing on contact. So that's a huge benefit for us. He's out of the cast and being able to work out.
Any sort of timeline for his return?
No, but I mean, moving in the right direction. And so he worked out the day before the game and just was dribbling, shooting, catching like normal.
Again, Pat Welter, WRAL, said he has a source that says he could be. There's a very small chance that he could be available for the Duke game, but the fact that he's able to do the things that Hubert Davis just described, no cast, catch and shoot, all that, hopefully will bode well for his lack of rust or minimal amounts of rust that he'll have when he is able to play, even if it's the ACC tournament. Wouldn't it be electric though? Duke game.
Oh, yeah.
Caleb Wilson back, making that triumphant return. I'm here for it. Next up, what number was that? 4? 3? Let's get to number 2.
Just the two of us.
and they'll score! A couple of hacks out in front, and Eric Robinson, he lights the lamp the 11th time this year.
It was good to see Robinson get another goal. The Carolina Hurricanes tonight, fresh off of not back-to-back nights, but 2 wins post-Olympic break at home over Tampa and Detroit. Tonight, 10 p.m. puck drop, which means 9:30 Stormwatch with Adam Gold at Seattle. Dennis, put you on the spot like I often do. If blank happens, then the Carolina Hurricanes beat Seattle tonight.
If the top line of Aho, Jarvis, and Svechnikov, if they combine for 2 goals tonight, Canes are winning.
Aho, Jarvis. Okay, I like it.
Yep.
Yeah, I like that. Did power play, does any of that matter?
As long as those 3 guys combine for at least 2 goals.
I do want to point out the power play has been better.
Mm-hmm.
They've gotten going a little bit, and I brought it up Friday. That Seth Jarvis in the post-game conversation from Rod Brindamore was in the back going, how about that power play? Power play? Like making sure they got their love. I think they understand that early on in this season, the power play probably wasn't where it should be, needed to be, where they hoped it would be. But it's gotten going here as of late. And there's a lot of stats out there, if you look at, since December 2nd or since whenever. I'm just making up that date. The power play is the second best or second most goals. Like they've gotten it going, which is nice, right? There's special teams are always one of those things that everybody will latch onto. So if they can keep the power play going, that'd be big. As far as the world's quickest scouting report for the Seattle Kraken, they are sitting in the final wild card spot for the Western Conference. So they are desperate, right? They do not want to give that up. They'd like to move up. They are 24th in the NHL in most goals scored per game. They are 10th in the NHL in fewest goals allowed per game. So the strength of their team would be the blue line, right? The goaltending, stopping goals. If you're just looking for, again, the most rudimentary scouting report that you can possibly have on the Kraken. If you're the Canes, though, I think this stretch, right, you're playing a lot of Western Conference teams. Focus on you, do what you do best, all those sorts of things. Second straight game against Detroit that they had a 3-0 lead that was cut to a 3-2 lead in the blink of an eye. I don't think it means a ton, but I do think it's something to monitor, that both times the seal was broken and then the next goal came very, very quickly. So pay attention to that. Freddie and net. Not tonight, but Freddie and net against Detroit was good to see. Made the saves he needed to make. I believe it'll be Bussy tonight.
My guess would be him.
Which I'd like to see Bussy have a nice, solid Bussy game, right? Now, the first game against Tampa, 5-4, kind of chaotic, right? But Tampa's pretty good. They've got some goal scorers. I'm not going to hold that against Bussy too much, but I'd like to see him have a ho-hum Bussy win. So I'd like to see that. And then, one of my cliches that I don't know if everybody agrees on is your star players need to play good on the road, right? Role players don't always travel is the way I put it. So in that case, it's more of a basketball cliche than a hockey cliche, but I think it kind of, at least the sparks often need to be your stars on the road. So I'd like an Aho, like you said, Aho, Jarvis, Svech. If they're going to be the engines, I'm good with that. If there's going to be, a couple of your dudes making plays, I think that's really, really good for the health of the team.
By the way, you mentioned power play.
Yep.
First 26 games of the season for the Carolina Hurricanes.
These are the stats I love. Go ahead.
First 26 games, 13.1% was their power play percentage. Since that game, every game since then, so you're talking about the last 33 games.
I'm not good at on-air math.
Last 33 games. 28.3%.
There you go.
28.3% on the season would be the third best power play in the NHL.
I'm telling you, those stats exist. They're getting it cranked. And a lot of it pertains to, they decided to put Stahl out there to win faceoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And then get a little net front presence. Little big guy out there, which matters. And it's working, so I wouldn't mess with it. But they're buzzing a little bit. That is number 2. How about number 1?
The
one!
Back for Boozer on the left. 3 to shoot. Going to have to take a 3. And he hit it. His first field goal comes from outside. And they've got their biggest lead of the day at 18.
Duke, number 1 in the country, on the road at NC State tonight at 7 p.m. The way I look at this game is State needs to find some things that are going to work for them that aren't just, as I described last week, hope, right? Yes, if State catches fire from 3, and they are a good three-point shooting team if you look at their bulk numbers, although in clutch moments it seems to have abandoned them a few times. If they get hot from 3, yes, that changes the game. If Duke has an off night shooting the 3, yes, that changes the game. Like there are a few things like that, but a lot of it's just hope. Or even, I'm seeing all the talk about this is the game State wins. And historically, right, they lose all hope and then they beat Duke.
That's true though.
It is, but it's
very true.
Like if you're State, you can't just go like, this is where the weird paranormal thing happens and we win the game, right? Like it's like the moment in like Angels in the outfield at the end where the Angels aren't there and all the players are looking around going like, what do you mean? Like this is where the magic stuff starts happening. Like you don't want to be NC State out there going, where's the stuff, right? This is where State wins. This is where we do it. Like it's not that. Right? Isn't it funny how the those that are good and work hard always get lucky? Like, that's how I'd like to be lucky. If you're State, find something that you can latch onto. What is that? Over the last 5 games, the thing that is probably most frustrating for State fans is we're back to the point where you're asking, like, what do we do well? Oh, we're a 3-point shooting team. Great. Why did we miss 5 threes at the end of the game to lose it against Notre Dame?
You went 1 of 8 in overtime. From behind the arc.
Even worse. So you finished 1 of 13. Oh, we're the 3-point shooting team? Really? That's our identity? We went 1 of 13 with the game on the line. Right? What can you hang your hat on? I know what Duke hangs their hat on. They hang their hat on their defense. They hang their hat on Cameron Boozer being a bully. And that's those are their 2 pillars. They know if nothing else works, that works. What does State hang their hat on? And by the way, against Notre Dame, it's not like everybody played bad. Van Allen Lubin was really good. He had like 25 and 10. Copeland had his 17, 18 points and nearly a double-double in assists. Like they had things that were going on, but as a team, when the chips are down, what do you major in? Because I'm going to tell you right now. What you major in is the way my coach used to talk about it in college. What we majored in were the things we did great, the things that we knew when things were going bad, we can go back to this and see something positive. Like, even if you minor in something, you're not going to do it well against Duke. That's how good their defense is, right? If it's like the 3rd best thing you do, it's going to be a struggle. You better have your Tin Cup 7-iron. If you've seen that movie, you know what I mean. If not, it's fine. You need to know what it is you do best, because there will be times against a defense like Duke's, which has a legitimate claim to being the best in the country, there will be times where it feels like nothing is working. I watched the Virginia game from over the weekend for Duke. There were times where Ryan Odom was on the sideline, and you could tell he's just like, nothing's working. I'm just going to yell at the ref some more. They had no options. It's going to feel like that sometimes, and you need something to go to. I think that's why they paid Darian Williams so much darn NIL money, because he was supposed to be the guy in these games where you're like, hey, if nothing's working, let's go to Williams. Hasn't exactly been the case. Is it Van Allen Lubin? I'm not sure you want him, posting up Boozer and Gongba and thinking like that's our go-to bucket. Copeland, it's great, but Copeland is about setting everybody else up. You could hope your 3-pointer is falling. And if that happens, it changes the game. But what do you do if it doesn't? And what do you do if all the teams that shoot poorly against Duke, what if that's not just luck? What if that's something they're doing? They're getting a hand, they're contesting, they're making you, move off your spots, whatever it is. If you don't shoot well, this one could get away.
Yeah, it's not a coincidence that a lot of teams have struggled to score against Duke.
And it's not a coincidence that a lot of guys have had career days against State shooting the ball.
That's true.
Like, good defenses against the 3 or good defenses against the 3, and bad defenses against the 3 or bad defenses against the 3. So flip side of that, it's needs to be addressed as well. You can't let Duke guys have career days shooting the 3 because that's kind of their Achilles heel, is they don't always shoot the ball great from deep. If State makes good shooters out of bad shooters, goodness gracious. The spread's 9.5. I thought it would have been more than that, so maybe Vegas knows something we don't, and they are, expecting State to hang around in this one, but I don't know where. I don't know why. Not the way they've been playing their last 5. Each of these teams, their last 5 games, it's been night and day. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we move on and grab our contestants for the numbers game, which our prize is one you're going to want to hear, before we get to that, Dennis Cox has a message.
I do. Hey, Dennis Cox here real quick, once again for my good friends over at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. I actually had someone come up to me yesterday and said, hey, looking slim. They say someone that hears me talking about Raleigh Weight Loss Center on the radio and said, hey, you're looking slim. I was like, I really genuinely appreciated that. And one of the things that I have found in the weight loss journey is that the encouragement that people are there to give you, because a lot of people sometimes struggle with the perception that they're going to receive from other people in the weight loss journey and how other people are going to view them. You're going to get a lot more encouragement than you realize from people in your weight loss journey. And that's where Raleigh Weight Loss Center comes in. They helped me lose over 40 pounds, 42 pounds, by the way. And I've kept that weight off, which is not something that is easy to do, especially when you're in your late 30s. When your body gets older, trust me, it's a lot harder to lose weight and to keep that weight down. But Raleigh Weight Loss Center, they help me do that. Give them a call, 919-897-7506, or visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com. Set up a free 15-minute phone call. And here's the thing about their weight loss program at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. No shots, no injections, no pills, no steroids, none of those, no drugs, nothing like that. None of the nasty side effects that come with those things. Just resetting your metabolism, that way your body can do the natural thing, which is burn fat, burn off weight. That's what your body can do. They jumpstart that. So give them a call, 919-897-7506, or visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com. I'm living, breathing, walking proof that it can work. And I'm approaching 40, folks. Again, it's not easy to lose weight at this age, but I'm telling you, you give Raleigh Weight Loss Center a call, you can figure it out. They will help you with that journey. By the way, first 50 callers, save $100 on the program. 919-897-7506 or visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com. Set up that free 15-minute phone consultation. Results may vary.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan needs numbers game contestants. The prize for today, a pair of tickets to see Hank Williams Jr. at Coastal Credit Union Music Park in Raleigh on Saturday. Let's see here, June 20th. That's the way we're going with it. So go ahead and call in now, 919-860-5326 for your chance to compete in the numbers game and win a pair of tickets to see Hank Williams Jr. Again, 919-860-5326. We need 2 contestants. So call in now. Numbers game next.
Listen for the Get That Outta Here's.
Rejection! Cameron Boozer got a piece! Get that out of there!
The deep looks from downtown.
Arsenault, pull up 3, top of the arc, buries it!
They got postered.
Shot is up, missed, hammer time! Put back jam by Lubin!
The road to Indianapolis runs through 99.9. The Fan, driven by Fast Park and Relax, Chapel Hill Tire and Roof Works.
See if you're a winner every night. Watch live lottery drawings on WRAL TV's 11 o'clock news. That's right, Carolina Pick 3, Carolina Pick 4, and Carolina Cash 5 numbers every night on WRAL TV's 11 o'clock news. See if you're a winner before you go off to bed. Get your lottery numbers live every night.
North Carolina Education Lottery.
Only on WRAL TV's 11 o'clock news.
If you're exhausted, not just tired, but worn down, this message is for you. I'm Brandon Giggling, president of Parkway Sleep Health Centers. Across North Carolina, many people wait months, sometimes over a year, just to start sleep care. That wait isn't normal, and it isn't necessary. At Parkway, most patients are seen within weeks, with virtual consultations and home sleep studies that remove unnecessary delays. Sleep care shouldn't have to depend on how long you're willing to wait.
Parkway Sleep, your fastest path to better sleep. Start today at parkwaysleep.com. Sound sleep, sound health.
Hey, what do you say? John Forsland here for my friends at Buffalo Brothers. It's the best time of the year for college basketball, and Buffalo Brothers is a slam dunk. Best place in the Triangle to watch all the big games. They always have great drink specials, and check this out. Every Monday, half-price wings all day. That's half-price wings all day Monday. Dine in only. Now that's a deal, baby. Check out any of their 5 Triangle locations or online at buffbrothers.com. Aw, man, now I want wings.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. It is time to play the numbers game. As always, we have an awesome prize for you, a pair of tickets to see Hank Williams Jr. this June when he comes to town. The contestants for today, Everett and Raleigh and Dion and Raleigh. So a little Raleigh on Raleigh battle. As always, we'll bring each of them onto the show, ask them the same question, and Dennis will be the judge. He'll pick his favorite answer. That person will get to go first. We'll start with Everett. Everett, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right. The question is, it is a Monday, which means we just wrapped up our weekend. What was the highlight of your weekend? But because we're a sports show, make sure it relates to sports somehow.
Well, I'm a UNC fan, so I'm going to go ahead and say NC State losing to Notre Dame was a great feeling to see.
I respect the rivalry pettiness of that. I respect it. Dennis, any follow-ups?
None.
All right, we'll go to Dion and Raleigh. Dion, can you hear me?
I can.
All right, perfect. The same question to you. It is a Monday, so looking back on the weekend that just ended, what is the highlight of your weekend? But because we're a sports show, make sure it relates to sports somehow.
Honestly, I didn't keep up with any sports this weekend, so the only news I really remember is that the Jets are keeping Bryce Hall, or trying to, and I'm happy about that.
All right, Jets trying to keep Bryce Hall. I've heard they are tagging him unless there's a trade or something, so we'll see how it goes. Dennis, are you rolling with a UNC fan whose highlight was NC State losing to Notre Dame, or Dion, who didn't keep up with much but says the Jets trying to keep Bryce Hall made him happy?
Well, I respect the fact that you're openly willing to admit you're a Jets fan, Dion. That's not a lot of easy, not an easy thing for many people to do. But just the sheer pettiness of hating on your rival, I got to go with Everett.
Okay.
Just for the sheer pettiness.
All right.
I respect pettiness.
Everett will get to go first. Dion, don't worry, you'll have your chance. Just have to sit on hold. Everett, can you hear me?
I can.
All right. The categories for you to choose from are NFL, Panthers throughout history. NFL K is the first letter of their first name. NBA players whose dad also played in the NBA. Or NHL Hurricanes throughout history.
Let's go NFL Carolina Panthers.
Okay. I'll give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. There will be 30 seconds on the clock. One pass if you need it. I will say the team in this category, even though you know it, just to keep it fair timing-wise with some of the other categories. Do you have any questions before we get started?
I do not.
All right. Your time will start when you hear the horn. Andy Dalton, Carolina Panthers.
14.
Correct. Raheem Blackshear, Carolina Panthers.
Pass.
Terrace Marshall Jr., Carolina Panthers.
88.
Correct. Jarius Wright, Carolina Panthers.
12.
Incorrect. Derek Moore, Carolina Panthers.
18.
Incorrect. Raheem Blackshear, Carolina Panthers.
31.
Incorrect. Jarius Wright, Carolina Panthers.
27.
Incorrect.
Damn.
You were either throwing some really good darts there, or you knew more than you were letting on. Andy Dalton, 14, you got it. Raheem Blackshear, number 3 or number 20. He wore both. You got Terrace Marshall Jr. with 88. Jarius Wright, it sounded like a dart throw, but you were one off. You said 12. It was 13 we were looking for. And then Derek Moore, you threw another dart that seemed close. We were looking for 20 with Derek Moore. But either way, you got 2, so that is the lead in the clubhouse. We'll see if it holds up.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. Dion, are you ready to pick a category?
I am.
All right, the categories are NFL players whose first name starts with the letter K, NBA players whose dad also played in the NBA, or NHL Hurricanes throughout history.
I'll do NBA players.
Okay, these are all NBA players whose dad also played in the NBA. I will give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock, 1 pass if you need it. You need at least 3 for the win. Do you have any questions before we get started?
No, I don't.
All right, your time will start when you hear the horn. Steph Curry, Golden State Warriors.
30.
Correct. Tim Hardaway Jr., Denver Nuggets.
18.
Incorrect. Jaren Jackson Jr., Utah Jazz.
Pass.
Kobe Bryant, Los Angeles Lakers.
8.
Correct. Jeremy Grant, Portland Trailblazers.
21.
Incorrect. Tim Hardaway Jr., Denver Nuggets.
13.
Incorrect. Jaren Jackson Jr., Utah Jazz.
Jaren Jackson Jr., 52.
Incorrect. Unfortunately for you, you did get 2, which is a tie, but tie goes to whoever goes first. So not enough for the win, but hopefully you had some fun.
I did.
All right. Appreciate it. And that means the winner is Everett.
Let's go.
Congratulations. Hank Williams Jr. tickets coming your way.
Thank you. Sounds great. I appreciate it, guys.
All right. UNC tomorrow, Clemson. I believe it's Clemson. I just said it a couple seconds ago. What's your prediction since you're a UNC fan? Senior day at home.
Is at home? I would say 73-68.
Okay.
Carolina.
All right. A little 5-point win. Appreciate it. Stay on the line. Oh, Dennis.
I have a question for Everett.
Let's hear it.
You as a Carolina fan, admitted UNC fan, when you see State and Duke play each other, who do you want to lose more? I'm just curious.
I want NC State to lose. I despise their fan base.
Short and sweet.
That's fine. That's totally okay.
All right, there you go.
I hate Duke, but I have a new hate. My hate level is much higher for NC State football and basketball.
Okay. I mean, there's probably some State fans right now that are in the car, but it's what it is.
I actually think that's probably what he's saying is the answer I think you'd probably most often get. Not saying that some wouldn't go the other way, but yeah, I think most are saying State in that case. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, while Dennis makes sure the winner gets their prize. I'll let you know how you can be a winner. Join 99.9 The Fan at the Buffalo Brothers in Cary this Thursday, from 6 to 8 p.m. to hang out with Victoria. That's Victoria from the Adam Gold Show. And for your chance to win a pair of tickets to the Canes as they host St. Louis on Thursday, March 12th at home at the Lenovo Center. Victoria will be giving away 1 pair of tickets every 8 minutes while she's there. So when I say for your chance to win a pair of tickets to the Canes versus St. Louis, I'm not saying you have one chance. I'm saying you can only win 1 pair, but there's a bunch of chances. Every 8 minutes, somebody will be winning a pair of tickets to the Canes. That's at Buffalo Brothers in Cary, Thursday night from 6 to 8 p.m. this Thursday. And also, by the way, once a day this week leading up to it. So tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday, and also Thursday, we, meaning this show, will be giving away a pair of tickets to that game. So we have tickets to give away. Victoria has a whole bundle of tickets to give away out of Buffalo Brothers on Thursday in Cary. So if you want to win tickets, you know where to be. You need to be listening right here to 99.9 The Fan, and you need to be hanging out with 99.9 The Fan out there at Buffalo Brothers in Cary. Actually, it was a good question on like what UNC fans want to see tonight. Let me make sure I have this right. I know, by the way, Carolina fans out there, that Carolina has moved into the position where if the season were to end today, if the regular season were to end today, Carolina would have the double bye at the ACC tournament. As it stands right now, they are in 4th. They are tied with Clemson and 1 game ahead of NC State. So if you are just all about vying for that double bye, you definitely want State to win. And then if you take care of business against Clemson, that gives you a very, very, maybe even clinches a chance at your spot with the double bye at the ACC tournament, which could be extra important as far as getting Caleb Wilson back and as healthy as possible before taking the floor if he doesn't play against Duke. So I guess the answer would be you want Duke to win because you're not catching Duke, and State losing would put them 2 games behind you for that double bye. And then if you beat Clemson, I think you clinch. The double bye. But that's a lot of math that I just did on air, and I don't always trust my on-air math.
That's fair. I don't trust your on-air math either.
You shouldn't. But I think that's right. I talked it out, so you can do the math on your own. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We are going to make some picks and things for tonight's game tonight's games because it's a really good Monday night full of action. So before we do that, Dennis does have some info.
I do. Dennis Cox here real quick to my good friends over at Law Tigers, something that I got to enjoy this weekend. Obviously, I bet everyone out there was able to get out and enjoy some wonderful spring weather that we were feeling. But I was able to get the motorcycle out of storage and hit the road, and I'm not going to lie, felt great. Put up over 100 miles on the motorcycle this weekend. But one thing that I had in mind when I first got my motorcycle out of storage back on Saturday was, it's been a minute since I've been on this bike. Let me spin this thing around the block a little bit before I really take it out on the roads. If you haven't ridden a motorcycle in a while, when you get your bike out of storage, your first time riding it a little bit, make sure you get a feel for the bike once again, and also just make sure your bike is in proper working order. Take care of your bike, and your bike will take care of you. Again, make sure your bike's in proper working order. Tire pressure, everything is, the brakes, everything. Make sure it is all working properly. If not, get it to a mechanic as fast as possible. Last thing you need to do is be out there on the road, and all of a sudden you got a wheel that's fallen off. You only got 2 of them. You don't want to sacrifice half of them just because you didn't inspect your bike properly before you got it out there on the road. But if you are injured in a motorcycle accident, make sure you give Law Tigers a call at 1-800-LAW-TIGERS before you call your insurance company. Your case evaluation is always free with Law Tigers, and you don't pay a dime until your case settles. And again, make sure you call them before the insurance company. Let's be honest. Insurance companies want to give you the least amount possible. Whereas Law Tigers, they're part of the motorcycle riding community. They know what your bike and your gear are worth, and they understand what you're going through after an accident. So give them a call at 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, North Carolina's motorcycle lawyers. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Make some picks. Oh, Dennis is pointing at me.
Real quick, we just had the numbers game.
Yep.
Dion, please call me back.
Oh.
Please call back in. Everett actually wasn't eligible to win because he's won something recently.
Okay.
So, Dion, call back in. No car accidents again this time, Dion. None of that. Jarvis in the first for him. But, Dion, I need you to call back.
All right,
there you go. So I can give you the tickets in the numbers game.
Go get it.
Yes. So
go
call
get
back,
your
Dion.
Tickets. You stumbled your way by disqualification. You stumbled your way into a win.
Hey, wins are wins, baby.
Wins a win. You don't give them back. And we'll actually pick some winners. Coming up next is make some picks here on The Drive. Don't go anywhere.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
At some point, it gets to be too good of an offer to pass up on. And I'm just pointing out the fact that if the Jets are insistent on getting a quarterback in this draft, they have all the ammunition they would ever need. They could offer a lot of first-round draft picks, whether it's 3 first-rounders, 4 first-rounders, 5 first-rounders over the next 3 or 4 years. At some point, the Raiders have to say yes.
Mornings from 6 to 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textingterms.us. Texting enrolls you for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply or price stopped, opt out.
Hey, man, how did the date go?
I had to cancel. I don't get paid until Friday.
You didn't know that you can get up to a $750 paycheck advance with the current app?
Where was that information yesterday?
Just text them. See if you qualify. $750? Boom. And right now, they're offering a $75 bonus when you set up an eligible direct deposit.
Think I should call her back?
Yeah.
Need money before payday? Current has you covered. Set up an eligible direct deposit to see if you qualify for a paycheck advance of up to $750. Hurry and receive an extra $75 sign-up bonus right now. Text WORTH to 323232. That's WORTH to 323232. WORTH to 323232.
Paycheck advance is offered by FindCo Advance LLC, a financial technology company, not an FDIC-insured bank. Eligibility and available amounts may vary and are subject to change at any time. For full terms and conditions, visit current.com/radio or call 1-888-851-3177 for more information.
Jake from State Farm. I just beat my running PR, so I'm celebrating with the Banana Bonanza smoothie.
Hey, and you can keep celebrating when you create an affordable price just for you by bundling your home and auto with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. Go bananas.
I will. Hey, make it a large.
Bundling, just another way to save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. If you know Dion, if you recognize the voice, Dion from Raleigh, who was on our numbers game earlier today, not that long ago, it was like 15 minutes ago. Text him, call him, let him know. We're trying to give him some tickets. Call back in. Same number. Dion from Raleigh, call in.
I just hope he didn't get rear-ended again.
I hope it's not the same Dion.
No, it's Dion.
That was Dion. Oh. Then, yeah, Dion, call back in.
Yes.
I thought you were joking, just saying like all Dion's get in car accidents. That was the Dion. Why didn't he tell me he was the Dion? I thought he was a Dion. I didn't know he was the Dion.
He's the Dion. He's our Dion.
I didn't know.
There's only one Dion.
Well, there's
No. There's only one.
There are literally others, but there's only one in our hearts.
No, there's only one.
Okay.
Only one I acknowledge.
Dion, call back. If you know Dion, call Dion. Let him know. Dion, get here. We're trying to give you some tickets. Yeah, now I'm all invested. Call back in, Dion. With that being said, there are some games tonight. There's a big one in the ACC, NC State versus Duke, as Duke tries to power their way through a dominant regular season in the ACC, and State tries to really change the trajectory of their late season here, right? The last 4 games, 4 losses, the last 5 games, 4 losses, they've covered the gamut. They've been blowout losses where they've been completely boxed up by the opposing team's defense. There's been blowout losses where the opposing team's offense gets going and seemingly can't miss. There have been collapses and overtime collapses. There's a little bit of everything. So they're trying to change their season, and Duke is that kind of big trophy fish in the ACC that could realistically change things. So with that being said, I know we usually make our picks over the last part of the show on Fridays, but it's a busy Monday. There's a lot going on, so we thought we'd do a special Monday edition of making our picks.
Well, we're going to throw some props out here for NC State versus Duke to start things off here, because I think it's a little bit more fun because of the game we had tonight. Over-under points for Cameron Boozer, 23.5.
I think I'm going to take the under.
Because 23-plus points is a minus 125.
His scoring average has been coming down.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think he's becoming like a less effective player or anything. I think it's just, I don't know if he would ever. At one point, he was like 23.5 or something crazy. So it's probably a little bit of a flex to say like, oh yeah, you've lost a point off your average, and it's 22.5.
Does State have someone that can legit guard him?
Well,
over 40 minutes? Like, let's be honest.
I don't think there are a lot of people that can guard him legit over 40 minutes.
No, but
watching the Virginia game this past, and watching any of their most recent games, he is a like Joe Frazier, George Foreman. Like he's just body blows, haymakers, body blows, and by the end of the game, you just see the opposing team's posts are just tired, and they've quite frankly caught a lot of elbows to like the midsection. He's a big, strong dude. I was actually noticed this about Virginia. Virginia, and this is no disrespect, it's just an observation.
Mm-hmm.
They're built very European big, meaning like they're not super cut up and jacked, right? They're more mass, like Jokic, right? Like that's their ideal. Boozer he's just a bigger, yoked dude, and he was just
built like a linebacker.
He was just bully, but he's like whatever 6'9".
6'9", yeah.
He's like an edge rusher. He would have run a 4.6 at the I don't know if he actually would have, but he looked like the guys that were running 4.6s. he's a bit more cut up. So I do think he is just kind of like boom, boom, boom. Eventually guys get tired. But what'd you say, 23.5?
Yeah.
That's like I refuse to have a player put up like 22 and 12 and go, didn't reach what I was predicting for them to reach. Like that's not where I'm going to go. So I'll take the under.
Okay, you'll take the under. I'm tempted to go the over.
I mean, I'm looking. Let me bring up his game log here.
I just don't see NC State having someone, because what's their biggest weakness? It's the post, especially.
Yeah, but they also give up a ton of threes.
They do.
They have a lot of career shooting nights against them.
They do, but I'm trying to think if you got Pat Gungba and stuff out there. I just don't see how you're going to slow him down. Anyway, that's just
his
my
last.
opinion.
He got to 24 against Notre Dame, but who didn't? 18, 24, 18, 22, 18, 17, 24, 19, 24, 19. Like there's a lot of unders there, so I'll take the under.
Okay, that's totally fair. Isaiah Evans, over under 16.5 points.
If there is a dude that fits the archetype of the people that have had gigantic games against NC State, Isaiah Evans is that guy, right? And he's been shooting better as of late. Shot the ball well against Virginia. What was it, the over-under, 15?
16.5.
16? That's a good number. I think I'll take the over there. If I'm taking the under on Boozer, somebody's going to score a bunch of points. So Isaiah Evans over.
Under that is, 16 plus is minus 125.
I think they're baking in that State doesn't guard the three well. And if somebody is going to have the big 3-point game, it's likely him. And he started the game against Virginia hot. So
yeah,
I'll take the over there.
All right, let's do a couple of prop bets here for NC State. Darian Williams, 14.5 points, over under. 14 plus is minus 115.
I think I got to take the under there.
Yeah.
He hasn't been forceful. I think he plays well in games where the opposing team wants to get up and down, and there's a little bit more space, and Duke is completely comfortable just grinding you down to a pulp. So I do think there are players for State that can have good games offensively. I'm not sure if Williams is the guy to pick against a team that is comfortable in a fist fight. So give me the under on Williams.
All right, next one here. Quadir Copeland, over under 13.5 points today.
He's someone I could see having a good day. I think his temperament is what you need going up against a team like Duke. Quadir Copeland is somebody that can miss his first 4 shots and somehow be talking trash to Duke about it, which I think you need to have that kind of relentlessness. So I'll take the over on Quadir Copeland. And I like him even more in like a points plus rebounds plus assists kind of combo bet that I know sometimes are offered, because I think his relentlessness will bode well.
Speaking of, let's go ahead and just get the rebounds. The player combo thing's a little bit slower updating here. Speaking of rebounds, let's go to that side of Ben Allen Lubin, over under 7.5 rebounds.
That is an appropriate low number for him. 7.5? You know what? I think
7 plus is minus 120.
I was going to say, I think I'll go over. I think I'll take the over, but it's going to be hard earned. And don't forget, earlier today we asked the UNC fan who was the caller, who do you hate more? Who do you want to see lose more? UNC or NC State or Duke tonight? If you're Duke, Ben Allen Lubin has played for Carolina and State, like the public enemy number one, right? Patrick Gungba remembers playing against that guy at Carolina. Now he's playing at State. I think it's going to be a really tough day for him, but 8 rebounds for a guy that I think is going to play a lot of minutes down low, assuming no foul trouble. I think he'll get to 8.
All right, Cameron Boozer, 11.5 rebounds, over under. 11 plus is a minus 105.
I think we got to go over there. State doesn't have a ton of great rebounders, and actually a lot of their rebounding is done by pretty good guards at rebounding, but I don't see Boozer letting too many of those smaller guys come flying in. So over 11.5, I'm going to take the over, but I think it's close. I think 12.
Okay. The spread on this game, minus 9.5. Duke, minus 9.5. It's a tighter spread than what it was when they played Virginia on Saturday. I know they're on the road as opposed to being at home, but 9.5 is the spread.
I was surprised by that. I will give
shocked by it.
I will, I always say, I'll tell you when I actually bet. I actually bet on Duke on this one, just hearing the number and being surprised by it. Also, I do think this might be a Vegas knows something we don't moment, because Virginia was, I mean, they when the line opened, Virginia was like the 11th best team in the country, 12th best team in the country by some metrics. Granted, Duke was number 1, but the line opened at -9.5 for Duke. Now, NC State is not the 11th best team in the country by darn near any metrics, and they're not close to the 11th or 12th best team in the country, yet the line opened at the same number. Even if you're somebody that believes in like the 2.5 points that you give to the home team, it's very different. Like Virginia waxed State not long ago. So I think the number should probably be somewhere around 12.5, 13.5, which is, if you have that much of a gap, I think you bet that. That's one where you feel like you have a market inefficiency and you take the chance on it.
Unless Vegas is just banking on history of Duke struggling inside the Lenovo Center.
Unless, they believe in like the paranormal activity, the ghost of Jimmy V blocking shots and all that, then you go for that. I tend to not believe in all that kind of stuff. But if it happens, there'll be a lot of people saying I told you so. I'll give you that much.
Give me a score.
Oh, goodness. I think it'll be something similar to the Virginia game. 78-57.
Going a little bit higher scoring. I think I'm same in terms of differential. Give me 86-64.
Give me a score for Canes Kraken.
Oh, Canes tonight? 4-3.
4-3 Canes win?
Yeah.
All right.
4-3 Canes win.
I'll go 4-2. No, I'll go 5-3. I want it to be a 2-point win. 2-goal win. There you go. There's our predictions for the day. We'll see you tomorrow. Stay up late. Enjoy the caffeine and late night hockey, which you can hear right here on 99.9 The Fan. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great evening, everybody.
Do you have a smartphone? Of course you do. Do you have a pocket or pouch or human hand to hold your smartphone? Then you have no excuse. Download the 99.9 The Fan brand new app today and take us with you wherever you go. Your favorite hosts, podcasts, and live sports action all in one place. Available for Apple iPhone and Android phones. Finally, there's an app for 99.9 The Fan. Download the 99.9 The Fan app today. Powered by Aspire Money Management.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.